Going live, going live, going live, and you're live. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra, special, big up. Shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay at home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the drivers, the Uber driver, the Lyft driver, the truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, public transportation bus drivers, school bus drivers, but school is on break. Shout out to every single clean hearted, good hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. You know all the profession them already: military personnel, law enforcement personnel, hospital and medical field personnel. Just every single person out there this morning going out, up and out to get yours the honest way. Big up to you and shout out to you. And thank you for you who are tuning in this morning. It's the freaking weekend, baby! Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Jesus Christ. These weekends. Oh man. Is it me? Or we said it's the freaking weekend 2 days ago. It's the freaking weekend. We keep saying it's the freaking weekend like this fast. I feel like I said it 2 days ago. Time is flying. Time is flying. Let me big up some people tuning in the chat first before we even get into anything this morning. Shout out to Great Goodies for being the first one in this morning. Sharon Ingram, Brick House is in the building. Asarin Odetta is here this morning. Lessa Steph is here this morning. Pussy Galore is here this morning. Sean Cassell, Pussy Galore is here this morning. Sean Cassell is in the building. Sean says, please hit the like button as you join the live. I appreciate that very much. For those of you who take the time to hit that thumbs up button as you join the live. Mervyn the Point, Jamaica Kerr, big up yourself. Thank you for being here, Mr. Article Dunn, Denzel Gale. BM is in the building this morning. Brummel Wright's here. Darlene Walter Riley is here. Rosalind Smichael is here. Fivefield 63 is in the building this morning. Wayne Nathan is here. Lady J is here. The Buffalo Sodares is in the building this morning. Dainty D is here. Audrey Wright, Janet Stewart, King Biggs, Real G. Thank y'all for being here this morning. Prellis123, D Mac, Virtuous Fire is in the building. Roxy 21 is in the building this morning. BM says it's the freaking weekend. Let's be happy for today. One day at a time. That's all we can do, my friend. One day at a time. That's it. Yesterday is not yours. It's gone. You can't even you couldn't call back yesterday if you were some scientist, magician, etc., etc. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow you can't bring tomorrow forward into today if you tried your best. So the only thing you have is today, the present, now, and we're here. Elaine Brown says, "Morning, Uncle. Morning, niece. Thank you for being here this morning. Big up yourself, Beast Boy. Thank you for being here this morning as well." All right, Sharon Spence, we're in the moment. Devin Gale, Ricky Reed, Reggae Girl Bento is in the building this morning. If I didn't call your name, I missed your name by accident. I thought I called all the names by now. I have some ginger tea in my cup this morning. I'm feeling pretty upful this morning. I was tired out all week though. I really needed rest, and I've been getting the rest, but I've been having like bad dreams all week. Yesterday, I dreamt that I executed a baby. You know, I've been having bad dreams all week. Uh, I'm gonna go right into this one. So, one of the questions that somebody asked yesterday, I suffer from, not suffer from, I'm going through, or I have issues with. It took me years to even be able to say this out loud, but I have issues with severe post-traumatic stress disorder, right? And that's why I say that you guys are you're my upliftment. You're my upliftment because when I feel down and feel like in my funk and feel like, I don't really feel like moving or doing anything or whatever, I look forward to this. I look forward to the communication. I look forward to researching these stories and coming and discussing them, whether they're lighthearted or they're heavy or all that. I draw from you as much as you draw from me, or probably even more, right? So this is a part of my healing process or my trying to heal process. They have a way that you're supposed to go to overcome this or to deal with this, but it's not one size fits all kind of thing. You pretty much got to find your own way. And for the things that I've been through, seen, and done, it kind of affects you in a different way. ways that you didn't know would affect you like that until you're on the other side of things looking back in, and then you have to deal with these things. So one of my most disturbing dreams was the other night. I had a dream. Let me give you an example. I woke up every hour on the hour. Now I have sleep aids, and sometimes my sleep aids work and sometimes they don't work. I woke up every hour on the hour yesterday, and I had a dream. And the last dream woke me up at 2:30 a.m. and I did not go back to sleep. I was up like wide awake all the way up until it was time to do morning thoughts. So I just got up and went to the computer and start working, right? I throw myself into work to get away from the dreams, the not being able to sleep. I'm always on the go. I'm constantly going. That's to take care of the sitting around and wondering part of things. So just so you know, a little insight about me. We're all human. We go through stuff. Again, it took me forever to even be able to say any of this that I'm saying now. The dream I had last night was somebody gave me orders, and I was following orders, and it was three. I had three bags in front of me, and the three bags were tied up, look like three big sacks. Like it could be a body in it, or it could be something in it. The person gave me a large revolver gun, spin barrel revolver gun, and he said you have to shoot into the three bags twice in each bag, and then that'll be it. We're out of here. All right, go ahead, Mac. He asked other people in the room. Everybody else was like, I don't know. I'm scared. I don't think I really want to do that. I don't know what's in the bag, whatever. And me, I jumped up in the dream and I was like, yo, we've been stuck here for way too long. I got to go. We all got to go. Give me the gun. Let me shoot into the bags and get us up out of here. So he gave me the gun. I shot into the first bag. Now you're not looking in the bag. I don't want to know what's in the bag. If I'm going to kill somebody, I don't really want to see your face because then me I gonna see your face all the time when me I dream on them kind of something there. So I put the gun in the first bag and I fired twice. Pow, pow. And I heard like somebody let out a and I watched the bag sink. First bag. Three blue bags. Second bag, I seen second bag moving. Like you could tell it was like somebody in there moving. By this time, I'm on autopilot now. So second bag, I just fired twice in there. Second bag stopped moving. The third bag, I fired one round into the third bag, and the round went through the bag and came out the other side of the bag. And a baby, a big baby, went and opened up, spread out. You know, baby spread out like this. Arms, they frail, arms and legs go. That's actually the reason why we wrap up baby when time babies are young, because they tend to like frail out like this. So the first shot I fired into that bag, a big baby fly out, so open up wide, and the baby had the bullet like it scraped the baby side like this, but it didn't hit directly. And I looked at the baby and I fired two more rounds into the baby. And when I fired two more rounds into the baby curled up back like this and rolled over and turned its back to me and went like it took its last breath. And that scared the daylights out of me. I jumped up out of my sleep, jump out my sleep, and I'm sitting there. And then my son came that time of the morning, Kai, and Kai was like, I'm wet, Daddy, I'm wet. So I changed him. You know, I think his diaper overflowed or something. Can't sleep through the night yet without a diaper on. So his diaper overflowed. He was wet. I changed him and stuff, and he went right back to sleep, and I could not go back to sleep. So I just went to work. But I was disturbed by that dream. I even told wifey about it yesterday, and I don't know. It's a weird dream. It's a weird dream, and I always tend to think that my dreams mean something. Somebody has said if me eat late at night and all these things. Dorothy T, you wouldn't understand. This not have nothing to do with eat late at night family. This has to do with something that I've been dealing with for a long, long time. It don't have nothing to do with eating late at night. I know we have the saying that if you eat late at night, you know, you'll have these nightmares and stuff and all that. That's from how I was growing up, but this what I'm talking about. It don't have to do with eating late at night. It has to. I know what it has to do with, but you know, in life, certain demons you have to face. That's just my life. Certain demons you have to face. We all have our individual demons that we have to face. So My demons come like that, and I have to face them. So I'm not get much sleep more time. I fight for sleep. And sometimes I go till there's no more sleep. Till sleep knock me out. Sleep has to knock me out standing up before I go lay down and say, yeah, I need to sleep kind of thing. I go till just can't go no more. I'll go 2 to 3 days in a row straight, and then I'll end up being tired for the next 2 to 3 days. I might sleep 4 to 6 hours out of those 2 days that I get some sleep, and I go right back to it again, which is not healthy. That's why I use sleep aids and all that other stuff. Means you're worrying a lot about a specific child, Seymour says. Oh, well, I have 6 of them, and I worry a lot about all of them pretty much equally at this point because nobody is out of sync right now. Sometimes you might have that one child that things just ain't going right with them. That's not it for me now with my children. Like all of them are, or maybe subconsciously. I don't know. You might be right, Seymour. It might be subconsciously, and I'm not even thinking upfront that that's what it is. The Buffalo Soda says sometimes you dream about a conversation or something a person said or saw previously. Hmm. Might be. Might be. Might be. But yeah, that's been keeping me up. That's been keeping me up. Anyhow, interesting enough, I saw this under the video that we did yesterday where we talked about like being in the South, and I was telling you like don't come here and be all lulled into the hey, how you doing, honey? And that nice old southern charm with that drawl. Don't be caught up in it too much, especially when you're in certain places because things could go left really quickly and not everybody like you kind of stuff. Under that video, there was a comment. Real talk, SouFlo. This is and one Goodman. And I told him I was going to explain this live instead of in a comment. So I have a problem with the term racism being treated as a bad thing, he said. I think bigotry is the problem. There's nothing wrong with being proud of your race and supporting it. As long as you can do it without hate, it shouldn't be a problem. Now, I've been down south and you are spot on. People seem so nice, unlike New York City, where they do the undercover bigotry stuff. Now, since you ended with the prison thing and you use the term institutionalized, can you help the rest of us who have this part? Listen, can you help the rest of us who have been fortunate enough to not have been in the military or jailed learn how to deal with you all? Because I feel we're in danger just because. The part where he said, since you ended, because that's how I ended the video, since you ended, we talked about the guy who was sentenced to 400 years. He did 34 years before they found out he was innocent, right? And I talked about him being institutionalized because there's no way you can do 34 years of a regimented type of living and then come out not institutionalized. You must have a strong mind to even survive that, right? Since you ended with the prison thing and used the term institutionalized, can you help the rest of us who have been fortunate enough? He said. He said, fortunate enough. Pussy Galore, I appreciate you greatly. Thank you so much. He said, since you ended with the prison thing and used the term institutionalized, can you help the rest of us who have been fortunate enough to not have been in the military? So he considers being in the military something bad. And he was fortunate to not have been in the military or jailed. And to heap military and jail or prison in the same sentence for me is kind of offensive. It's very offensive, as a matter of fact. But I asked him instead, I said, can you explain more what you mean exactly so I can answer you properly, right? And he says, ex-military people, SouFlo, people who have done at least 1 year jail bids, also, people who have been through some serious mind-boggling things, see enough death, body parts. I think you get my drift. And then he said, SouFlo, where I'm at, these vets, or these veterans, they move like they are above the law. Majority of them are driving these big pickup trucks with elevated suspensions, and they are behaving as if they have brought the war home with them. And if you are a civilian, you are the enemy. All right. I feel the need to answer that. He clarified exactly how I wanted him to clarify it, so I could answer that. In the part of Florida where I live, and also throughout the South where I've been, and I told you I've been to every southern state, every single one. You can't name one I haven't been to. I've been to every southern state. Southern culture is trucks, trucks, not really cars. It's probably like Caribbean people that like cars here, or young people might like, oh, you whipping a foreign, so they'll go for a little BMW or a little Benz or something, which is a status of be if you've arrived or your finances are up or whatever. But Southern culture is trucks, right? Big trucks, big wheels. And the further south you go, well, not the further south, because the further south is Florida, and Florida ain't even as southern as Texas is, and Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, and all these other places. But trucks is the thing for them. Now, as far as them having these big trucks and rolling around like they brought the war home with them, and like civilians are the enemy and all that other stuff, I can tell you that there are a lot of military people or ex-military people that don't like civilians. They don't like civilians, but it's not to the point where they're going to turn the gun on you. If that was going to happen, we would see that happening over and over and over and over, and we would see it happening all the time in many different states. It's not that. They love you enough and care about you enough to sacrifice, to put their life on the line, to stop all their happiness, to protect yours. And they love to see it when they come home from what it takes to keep war off your doorstep, right? However, when they come home, they realize that they are separated, not because they want to be, but because you have separated them. You separated them already. Like the first thing, if I'm speaking to somebody and they disrespect me, and it's a disrespect, and I tell them I feel disrespected, and they continue with the disrespect and I get upset, the first thing they draw for is this. Then the army must have effed your mind up. You don't act like a regular person. What you getting mad for? Now, mind you, I'm the kind of person that tell everybody else. If somebody says, you offended me, I find that deeply offensive. The first thing you do is what? My apologies. It wasn't my goal to offend you. I wasn't trying to offend you. But most civilians don't see it that way. They use that stuff against us, right? And that's why a lot of them vets are closed in. They don't keep too many civilian friends, uh, and they separate from civilians. I was on a rescue mission out here in the part of Florida that I'm at, where we were rescuing veterans, and lo and behold, I was stumbled upon a whole community that lives in the woods. A whole community that lives in the woods. No house. No house. All tents. Tent city. And they have booby traps set up around their tents and everything. And you got to be really careful when you're going in there. And if you're not a one of them, you're not welcomed in there either. These are people who have decided to separate themselves from regular society. I know a lot of people are saying, yeah, the government use them and throw them away and don't take care of them. Listen, I've had my bittersweet relationship with the VA, but the VA is even more effective now than ever before. And there's so much help out here for veterans if they want to seek it. The thing about it is, when your mind is messed up a certain way, it's like telling somebody who is batshit crazy or who has lost it completely, you need to go check yourself in. They're not hearing you. They're in a state of psychosis, or they're going through something else that's telling them, you fine, there's nothing wrong with you, there's something wrong with all these people around you, kind of thing. So you can't really talk them into it, right? But it's there for them, and they even send help out. I've been a part of that rescue. They even send help out to get them. others that are like them, to talk to them. I was about one move away from being one of those people that was going to separate myself and go off into the woods. I came that close. I was paranoid. I was paranoid of people because civilians ain't nice. They're not nice. And there's so much camaraderie in the military. Like, you have people that you know for a fact will kill for you. You know for a fact will die for you. Even if even if they fly a rebel flag in their room in the barracks, when it come time to defend your life, they'll die doing it. You heard what I just said? So you don't see that out in the civilian world. In the civilian world, we go back to, you're in this group, you're in this group, you're black from the black community, you're over here. Okay, you better start flying that flag. You back to being a little southern boy, with your flag and your big truck and your whatever. It's just a whole different world. And coming back to this world and seeing how people take their freedoms for granted and take who gives them these freedoms for granted. Yeah, we got to step on some people to attain some things, and everybody wants the world to, let's be honest, right? And everybody wants the world to be perfect, where all countries are holding hands and singing kumbaya and we love each other and all. That ain't how the world works, man. That's not how the world works. And it was like this before we came into it, and it's going to be like that after we leave it, right? You got to get in where you fit in and figure out a way to survive and figure out a way for your people to survive and thrive in this as well. So we get in where we fit in and we figure out how to survive and thrive in this. And that's about it. And you live the best you can with the days you're given. And then you go, you pass, you're gone. And other people come and they make their mark and they'll also pass and be gone. This thing won't stop. We will stop. I hear people say it all the time. The world's going to end. The world's going to... No, it's not. You're going to end. You're ending. World without end. Amen. The world is not ending. This thing will continue. You have a limited time here. This will replenish itself. It will come back. When Mother Earth's ready, she'll burp and fart everything out that's toxic in and on her, and will come right back again. Volcano, floods, meteorite hit, everything, and will replenish and come right back again. You will be gone. I will be gone. So at the end of the day, I would say don't be afraid of these veterans. What I will tell you about this, yes, some of them act a bit aggressive, and I see them out there, and it's shameful sometimes because some of them go all the way overboard. The part that gets me and gets my blood boiling is the ones that fake the funk, like the ones that pretend to be but are not. And believe it or not, there are many civilians who never did a day in the military who run around with a whole lot of memorabilia from the military all over their car. You would think that they just came out of a war zone and just landed back here. I saw one of them in the grocery store, right? And he had sniper tattooed on his arm. And he had a sniper rifle tattooed on his arm. And I'm in the grocery store, I'm in Walmart, and I seen it on his arm. And I said, a sniper would never tattoo sniper on his arm. Most snipers, especially the ones who've been to combat alongside an infantry unit, they don't want you to know them. They don't want you to know what they did. Not that they're ashamed of it, but it's just not something they go around telling people, right? I asked him, I said, what unit were you in? What unit did you serve in? He looked at me all strange and stuff. So I told him what unit I served in, and I said, I'm just asking. No offense or nothing. I'm just asking because I saw the tattoo. It says sniper, and I saw the rifle and stuff. And he was like, he looked around like this and goes, tell you the truth, I never served, but my brother did. So I said, oh, wow. So your brother was a sniper? And he goes, no. Yeah, yeah. I said, what unit's he in? Is he still in? He goes, yeah, he was killed in combat. The more I asked this man questions, is the more I figured out that this man was just some junkie civilian who had no connections to the military. And every question I asked him was wrong. Every answer was wrong. And I just kept on going. I played along. I was going to call him out loud, but I didn't, because he looked like somebody that's not all there and is trying so hard to be something he's not. What I'm trying to say is some of the people you are around that look scary, that you might think, damn, he probably troubled in the head because he been to war and seen some things. Half of them are not even, have never been in the military. Half of them have never been in the military. And then those who have been in the military that like to come back and tell stories about me and my team went into this building and we had to kick off the doors and we saw, when they meet people like me and I ask them the right questions and I figure out you were a supply, you were a fueler, you were a cook. What did you see where? They never saw any of it. They are around us. They hear us. They see us come back from missions. They hear us in our debriefings. They hear us planning when we're going out and all that. And they use those stories and they internalize them and they come back and tell them as if they're their stories. Most guys who have actually been in the fight on the front line, you don't have no problems with them. And they don't have, they're the quietest ones. This is actually a term that we use that's called "you're a wolf." We are wolves among sheeps. Yeah. And you could run down and slaughter the sheeps whenever you're ready because you're like that highly trained and geared to go. But you don't do it because that's not what you want to do. Right? Most people are happy having people like us in their community. It's like when you go into a community and you see two police cars at two different houses, you're like, okay, ain't nothing too much going to be popping off in this neighborhood right here because two police live here. One live right there, comes home, parks his cruiser facing out. That means he's ready to go right there. And one live at the other end of the street. Is safe in here. It's the same way they look at us here when they see like the decals and the houses and stuff. They're like, oh, I'm good. I'm good. If it goes down in any way, we're out here and we will still fight to defend you to the last round, right? So don't be scared of them. They might be a little bit loud. Some of us were taught to be that way. Move like lightning and sound like thunder. That's something we practice, right? When shit hits the fan, we get extra loud. So we're loud, some of us, and then we move like lightning. You see them moving extra fast, doing everything different, and you're like, I can't deal with that. That's so crazy. Why you always, even my wife, I have issues with wifey because she's like, you always rushing me. You know what? I'm not going. I'm just thinking ahead. I already mapped the whole thing out. Where we're going to go in the store, what we're going to get, how we're coming back up out of the store, how much I estimate we should spend for the day, all that other stuff. I mapped it out already. For her, regular person, me soon come, me a beard and put on some clothes and then we're getting ready to go down and so on. So for me, it's like it's ticking. The time is ticking. Okay, this is non-progressive, non-productive. I gotta find something else to do in the meantime. Can't just sit around not doing nothing. And then we're definitely not just gonna go walk around in the store and browse and see what else they might have in there. So she has to go to the store by herself. You know, different things affects different people different ways. End of the day, don't be scared of those that are, but remember there are a lot that are not. So I went at the gym, big old flag on the back of his car. The flag said fuck Joe Biden, just like that. No F dot FUCK Joe Biden, one big flag. The flag is as big as this blue thing right here that I got right here, and it's hanging off the back of the truck. And he has another one on the other side that says Trump is my president, right? And the flags are flying, and two big pipes on that truck. And when the truck comes through, it throws smoke, and the truck goes smoke up the place. I guess he has some machine in there that he presses and it smokes out. So when he's going off from like a stop sign or something or a light, he hit the smoke button, smoke out everybody and go down the street. I'm like, this is so friggin' disrespectful. And then I go to the gym and the same person I seen down the road smoking everybody else out is in the gym working out. But he has this decal on the back of his vehicle That's a military decal. So I'm trying to figure out what branch you served in or whatever. And it turns out he just has those military decals there. Oh no, man, I support law enforcement and I support our military, but I never served. You know, I really wanted to go in, but they said I had flat feet, so I couldn't, they wouldn't accept me. Another one, I really wanted to go in, but at the time, you know, I had a hernia and I had a surgery for the hernia and then I couldn't go in. And they make all these excuses, but they're not military. They've never been in. So be careful who you're looking at, calling them military, because you're judging from the outside, seeing these decals. It's a lot of fakes out here. Real military people, majority of them, I guarantee you, they're very quiet. They don't want attention drawn to themselves. They're very quiet. And they're quick to sidestep any drama. Vicky said yesterday, but SouFlo, you always strapped. So why you running from racists and all that? Like I'm gonna walk around and just shoot it out everywhere because I got guns. They didn't stop making guns when they made mine. Everybody else is armed to the T too. See, a real warrior sidesteps war as much as he can. Yeah, real warriors don't go around looking for war because war means death. War means destruction, and it could even be my own death or destruction. We don't go around thinking I'm tough and invincible and nothing can't happen to me. We've lost many brothers and sisters. So we know that when war happens, people die, right? So I'm not trying to go to war with you. As a matter of fact, I don't even think you want to take it to where I'm going to take it to because they're going to be like, damn, he went extra overboard. So I sidestep it. You know, I'm the first one to walk off. I'm the first one. You could call me whatever you want to call me. You could, I'm not phased by names. Peer pressure, I'm too grown and too old for that. I'm not phased by any of that. I'm not phased by the name calling, disrespect, nothing. Just don't touch me. Don't put your hands on me. Don't violate my space. If you come in my space where I feel like I'm gonna be hurt, it's a different story. But other than that, I sidestep everything. I don't look for trouble. And most of them are the same way. They don't look for trouble. They don't want it because they know that it's going to change their life if they respond that way. So don't worry about them. They good, right? And that's the best way I could explain that to you, my friend. With that said, here we are this morning. Man, this is a struggle. I feel good talking and I appreciate you allowing me to talk on that topic. Um, with that said, let's go into something lighter, actually. So, this has nothing to do with all the other stuff I want to talk about this morning, but y'all rolling with me, and I thank you, and we're rolling through. Let me sip some of this tea. Sierra came out in a dress, right? Y'all seen the dress? Mm, my ginger tea tastes so good. Sierra came out in a dress. A dress. Sierra, who's married to Russell Wilson, who was with Future before, that Sierra, the singer Sierra, she came out in a dress. Apparently, Coffee had a issue on the airplane. We're gonna talk about that too. But Sierra came out in a dress, and Sierra's dress has a lot of people talking because they say that the dress is too skimpy, and basically they're saying that Russell Wilson is married, but Sierra is single. Now, I didn't want to put the dress on the front of I didn't want to put the dress on the front of the icon because I didn't want YouTube to say. So wait, Vicky Victory. Vicky is something else. Vicky says Sierra tired of Russell body. Why? Oh man, Sierra's this. Hold up, Sierra dress. Look, as soon as you put it into Google, right, you put in Sierra and it comes up Sierra's dress. Let me see if I can pull up the dress for you, just to show you the dress that she came out in recently. Here it is. Bam. Okay, so this is Sarah with the dress. Let me see if I can big up that picture. Yeah, there, Sarah. Here's the dress. Married woman, mother of how many? I just want to see what y'all think about it because I do have something to say about it. All right, so this is Sarah's dress. Yo, Vicky, no have no behavior, you know. Vicky, are one of them people that. So this is Sarah's dress. This is how she came out. Zane, morning for Malaya day off flex. Debbie Jervis, Debbie, you getting some rest? Heard it on the news, but didn't see the dress. Well, now you're seeing the dress. The Buffalo so dress. Sierra tired of Russell Buddy. Vicky Victor says she loves thugs. Christine Simpson says, truly thank you for your service. It takes a special kind of person to serve. Manners and respect, fam. Um, okay, so that's the dress. We don't want YouTube fling we off of YouTube. Uh, Audrey Wright says it's a nightgown that. What are your thoughts on this dress? She went to a function. Now let me show you the other picture. She went to a function. This is how your wifey is stepping out, right? Your wife is stepping out like this. But she's stepping out with you for the men that are here. She's stepping out with you. And I like it's girls' night out, and this is what she's telling you that she's going to wear, and you don't have a choice. Leave me, make me wear what I want to wear. That wasn't the situation. She was stepping out with her husband. Okay. So here is her with her husband wearing the same dress. See? They were out at a function together. So how them cut Russell out of a picture, so them people are wicked, man. They actually use Russell to promote the picture, and then when you click on it, it shows Sierra standing by herself. It's real. Anyhow, that's her and Russell right there in the dress. Let me see. Da 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 da. Cause the question now is, would you allow your wife to wear that? And then, oh, there they are. They have an actual video of it. So that's her and Russell. They're out at an event. Her husband is right there with her in the dress. And then he gives her way. He gives her way, like, your time to shine, babe. I'm gonna go ahead and step out the picture, and let you do your thing. Let me move this. And the camera proceeds to love her as she does her thing. Hey, he was there. He was there. What do you think about her dress? Because people have a whole lot to say about this woman's dress. I see one man say Sierra is single, but Russell is married. And what kind of whoring tendencies? Me and Wifey had this discussion. Wifey said, if me and her were hosting an event and y'all came out and saw her, we would go and talk about her the same way that you're talking about Sierra, the ones who had something bad to say. Remember, I always said this because some men do this. They will meet a woman who dresses like this. And the day when you met her, she might not have been that risque, but she had on something that you would consider risque, right? And it attracted you to her, right? And then suddenly now, after you put on your best charm and best foot forward and everything, she's now in love and all these things, and wife her up and she husband you up and your partners and good in love, and here you come with this surprise thing. Where you going in that? Nah, hoes wear that. My wife can't wear that. If you wear that, you don't respect me. But she was wearing that when she first met you. And when y'all were courting and going out and dating and all the time, she used to dress just the same way. And now that she's wifey, you want her to change how she dresses. And I think what you're about to do is you're about to take some of the spice out of your relationship. You're about to change something about her that really attracts you to her. That's dangerous. Anytime you start stripping away the things that you really like and are really attracted to about the person that you're with, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. For some people, it may be over the top, that dress in particular. Since we're talking about the dress in particular, it may be over the top for some people. But I don't see the problem. I don't see the problem. People forget because some people are like, Russell is a simp, and she controls the relationship. So basically, if she say this what I'm wearing, him not have nothing for say, and if he does, she lock off the something upon him. I think y'all fail to realize that Russell is what they consider to be like the perfect man kind of thing. The man go church, clap Bible. The man pray with prisoners. The man donates here, there, and everywhere. He's in all kinds of charity events. His earnings are in the hundreds of millions. Matter of fact, he told Ciara's baby father, Future. Future just sold his catalog, part of his catalog for 75 million US dollars, by the way, and still can't touch Russell's money, which is who Sarah married, right? Now, granted, Future came into this money way after he left Ciara, but she was ready to settle down. She said it. She was ready to settle down. She was ready for somebody that was ready for a family and ready for love and ready for commitment. And Future just wasn't that. You know, he thug life, wild boy, street stuff. But anyways, Russell told him, you can keep your minuscule amount of money because you're the one going around here having babies with all these different women. You're going to need that money more than we do for child support. Over here, we're not just rich, we're wealthy. For generations to come, we're set financially. The man money long, like extra long. And I won't go into it. You could go look up how much Russell is worth, Russell Wilson is worth, how much he makes per year, what his contracts look like. All that stuff is public information and available out there. As far as his wife goes now, I think regular people want entertainers to be regular people too much. Now, if an entertainer becomes regular, they're boring to you. You don't speak about them. You never talk about boring people. You never talk about people that are just like you. Why? Because they're just like you. If I'm going to talk about somebody, I'm going to talk about somebody who did something outlandish. I'm going to talk about Ciara's dress because her whole booty was out in that dress. I'm going to talk about Ciara's dress because everybody else is talking about Ciara's dress. If she wore a dress that looked motherly, that says I am the mother of a couple of kids and a wife, nobody would say anything about her. They'll be like, flash, flash, flash. Okay, next. Move, move, move. Okay, next. That. Oh, damn. What is that Jennifer Lopez is wearing? It plunges so deep. Her breasts look like they're about to pop out. She turned around. That whole ass was out there like that. Now you're talking about somebody else grabbing the spotlight, right? And in their world, all publicity is good publicity. No publicity is bad publicity. If you stop talking about them, down the hill they go, right? Any celebrity this applies to. Once the public stops talking about you as a celebrity, your celebrity ship is done. You're going downhill. You're washed up. When last I heard from you? Nobody even speaks about you anymore. It's just like an artist. Nobody plays your music anymore. That means that's the end for you. You can either reinvent yourself and come back with some fresh, new sounding music, or do something to get in the news where some controversy is generated, controversy, and then boom, you're back on top again, right? So I don't have a problem with it. I saw her husband right there. And if he didn't have a problem with it, why should I have a problem with it? Me no want her. I don't want his wife, and I don't want to, I don't look at his wife or look to her for influence. So why would I be hurt about what she's wearing? You know? People are like, oh, she's setting a bad example. Bad example for who? The woman is a grown woman. Bad example for who? Your children ain't supposed to be watching how Ciara dressed to know how to dress. They're supposed to be watching you to know how to dress, right? Jane Anders say a lingerie that. The Buffalo Soldieress says, hold up, Cinnamon Toast Cinnamon. Hey, Cinnamon Toast Cinnamon says, oh my. Dorothy T says, wow. Leaves nothing to the imagination. Jane Anders says, dress, a lingerie that. Anita Kanan says, but Lord have mercy, where is the rest? The Buffalo Soldieress says, where did she wear it to? They were. You saw her with her husband beside her. He was fully dressed. He was in a tuxedo type suit. They wore it to some kind of a event. You love it. I bet SouFlo. Yeah, I love it. I love it. If my wife was gonna wear that, I wouldn't tell her no. I wouldn't. I would just be like, "You sure that's what you want to wear? You know the whole of your body out that door, right?" But check it. I live in Florida, right? And when my wife goes to the beach, and when we go to the beach, I see less than that. I see that all the time. And they laid out on the beach with legs spread wide open because they're trying to tan the inside of their thighs. Nobody wants to tan and be brown on the outside, but pale on the side, on the inside areas. They turn themselves all kinds of ways inside out. So them up on the beach are contortionist type moves in a freaking thong. And it's all over the place, all up and down the beach. So people see that all the time. It's nothing. And I know some people are gonna be like, yeah, but this isn't the beach. Same thing, same thing. It's no different because the same people who you see at the beach could go to the same functions you go to and see you there too, right? Look, if her husband is happy with her, Kaz Robinson says, if her husband is happy with her being naked, who are we to give comments? If we had that figure, we would rock that dress too. That's another thing that I find because I'm kind of nosy, right? And I want to see something. I watch people. So what I do is I go look at some of the people who are commenting and I look at their stuff. I look on them picture. I look at who they are really behind the scenes, and I'm like, oh, I could see I could see why your comment was that bitter. You know, you could stand to lose about 100 pounds before you put that dress on. You wouldn't be able to rock that dress, or maybe you could, if you had that confidence and you're like Lizzo, that kind of stuff. But people make these comments either because they can't do it or because they're with someone who won't allow them to do it, or just all these different reasons, uh Veronica Gale says, OMG, no sir. Stacey Ann Williams says that's a sleepwear. Jane Anderson, and see, for me that's not a sleepwear. This sleepwear stuff, why you sleep naked? So sleepwear, where is wear going in sleep? You wear stuff when you're up and about. You're supposed to sleep naked. We have different, insights or different thoughts about how this thing should go. Vicky Victor said, I think she should wear what she pleases. BM says that's a bedroom outfit. Erica Senior says, no, no, no. Some things should be left for my husband eyes. Mm. What are you leaving for your husband eyes? Let's be real. When a woman says some things should be left for my husband eyes, but then we go to the beach as a family and she's out there in thongs, ain't nothing left for my eyes. Everybody's seen everything. The only thing that's left for my eyes is inside of her, which everybody's seen everything, right? Only thing they not seeing is the actual nipples and the actual lips of the thing. That's all. But what? How do you go to the beach? You naked. You go to the pool to swim. What are you leaving for your husband's eyes only? Rochelle Morgan says those who have a problem are haters. Anita Kanan says no, no, no. June O'Brien says she looks good. It's her body, and her husband has no objections to it. Jane Anders says, look the trophy. Ain't nothing wrong with being a trophy. If he had a blonde girl with blue eyes up there as his trophy, y'all would be mad as hell. Yep, that's what all of them do. All these black guys, they go make it to the NFL and the NBA. They make millions of dollars and they go get themselves a blondie as a trophy wife. Anywhere you take it, you're wrong. You can't be right, right? So for you calling her trophy, ain't nothing wrong with being a trophy. I see nothing wrong with being a trophy. I like the fact that he told Future, keep your minuscule amount of money. The man said minuscule. Keep your minuscule amount of money. My wife doesn't need child support from you. We're good over here. Your son, our son, is good over here. In other words, I'm going to treat your son like he's my son. So now this is our son and he's good over here. He won't ever want for nothing, whether you choose to give him anything or not, right? We're good. We're good for generations to come. He says we're rich. We're not rich, we're wealthy for generations to come. You keep that money. And I did a research, and Future has 10 children by 9 different women. So if Sierra had stayed around waiting for Future, she would be baby mother number whatever with a man that has 10 children by 9 different women, choosing to never marry any of them, making her just another notch on his belt. You know, she actually did move on to a better situation. I think what more people need to listen to instead of that is and this is what I find sisters don't listen to. They don't listen to what Sierra said when she spoke about how she got a man like Russell. That's the part they refuse to listen to. I listen to it. Me not look for no man. I'm not I'm not into men. I'm not looking for a man like Russell, you know. But she spoke about how she got a man like Russell. She really broke down how she was before. And she really broke down having to stare herself in the mirror and speak to herself and own her flaws and her faults and her toxic ways, and then make a genuine effort to clean up herself and change those. She was with who she was with before because that was her type. She was attracted to a certain thing, and she made that her type because she thought she could find forever love in that type. Now, how many women have done this? And some of y'all are way older than Sierra and you're still doing it. You're still looking for that type. You're still hoping to find forever love in that type. And that type has failed you every time from the time you started giving up your virginity, losing it, to this very day. Many years later, you're still stuck on that type. So she realized she had to change herself and change what she thought was her type. She was like, yeah, I used to talk back a lot and I was aggressive and I used to say what the fuck was on my mind and I used to this, that, and the other. And she was like, I realized that I had to sit back and chop it down, right? I had to give him room to speak. I had to act like what he was saying meant something to me. I was taking his thoughts into consideration as well, right? And then she went on to talk about how, you know, he was the type of person that he wanted to kneel down and pray. He wanted to go to church. He wanted to this, that, and the other. I'm not religious like that. I'm not dragging no woman to church. But speaking of her, she was like, he wanted to accommodate that. He doesn't want to go out, but she wants to be in a club somewhere, but he doesn't. He wants to be at home. He's going to get up. He's going to work out because he's focused on his career. It makes him millions of dollars. This is what it takes for him to be who he is, right? The top 1 percentile of men. Get up, work out, come home, rest his body, watch some games, see how he could better himself, watch footage of who he's going to play next, spend some time with the family, play with the children, spend time with her on the couch, just holding her, speaking to her, whispering to her. They're watching her favorite stuff. He falls asleep like that. For her, she's coming from party girl. She wants to be out. She wants to be with the cool dudes who were blowing smoke in the club and popping bottles and the excitement. She had to change that. And it was hard for her at first. You mean it's the weekend and we're not going anywhere? And he's like, yeah, well, Sunday we're going to church. So I'm resting tonight. She's like, but it's Saturday night. Come on, we could go out and then go to church in the morning. He's like, no, I don't want to go to church in the morning, hungover and all that other stuff. She had to. So that person who might change your whole life might be that person who is completely outside of what you think your person is. You know what I'm saying? Cinnamon Toast Cinnamon says, happy Friday and thanks for being awesome and sharing your knowledge. Much respect to you. I appreciate you greatly. I thank you so much. And thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. Erica Sr. says, that's why I was shocked to see her in that dress. It looks like she was still with Future. Nah, man. This is Russell being secured enough, confident enough to know. I explained this to y'all before, right? I said when me and wifey go out, I don't know if y'all saw her birthday. Y'all saw my wife's birthday stuff that I put up on my channel on SouFLoTV. She was out doing her thing, looking pretty risque, almost like how Sierra was. Um, but my thing, and this has been the same way with me and her from day one until now, and it won't change. I am confident in me as a man and what I bring to the table. You don't have to tell me that I'm a catch. I think I'm a catch. I think that I bring so much to the table that a woman in her right mind would be happy for what I brought to the table, and she could add hers to mine and we could create something great, right? I'm not insecure. I'm not begging nobody to come help me pay half of my bills. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not the kind of person who, oh gosh, if I speak my mind, she's gonna leave me. So I have to just say yes. And you okay, it look good, go ahead. No, I could freely speak my mind. If I was that type of person, I'd be like, I don't like that. That's whorish. I don't like it. Take it off. Go find something else to wear. And if she decides, you know what, I don't want to be with SouFlo because he's that kind of guy, then I'll go find me a woman that feels like, hey, I need to cover my whole body up. I don't need to show anybody anything. And I'll be happy with that. I'm an architect. I design and build a life that I want for me, right? First. So when you're confident in yourself, I get a kick out of it. I actually get a kick out of it. I'm walking with wifey, you know what I'm saying? We down in Miami, we doing our thing, and I'm walking with her, and I could see it. I'm not gonna stare at every guy that's staring at my wife. I could see it. I could see them touching each other like, yo, yo. And they doing all kind of antics. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, whatever you thinking about doing, I'm probably gonna be doing that later for real. Yeah, so that. And she get a buzz out of it too. She can't tell me she don't. Whether she says she does or she doesn't, every woman gets a buzz out of it. To be that wife, if you want to call them trophy wife or whatever you want to call them, when men see them and look at them, it's like, damn, whoa. Nobody wants to be with somebody that nobody else wants. Everybody says they do, but that's a lie. Nobody ever looks at your person. Nobody ever says your person look good, including you. Never say, including you. Never tell your person they look good because they don't look good to you. You know, that's where you end up when you start trying to make people do what you want them to do, kind of thing. And I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy to try to tell her what to wear and I don't like what you have on and all that stuff. If it makes you feel good, wear it. Cause I'm sure as hell gonna wear what I want to wear. And I'm no want no woman ever tell me about take this off. We don't like this, put that on. No, you're gonna be out with me wearing what I want to wear, what I feel comfortable in, and feel good wearing as well. It goes both ways, you know. So it takes a certain level of confidence from a man to actually even be able to step out with his woman looking that way, right? Sentimental Simlin says, when we become the mothers and the wives, people expect us to dress in muumuus. We are not allowed to dress sexy. That's one of the biggest friggin' mistakes I've seen women make. Listen to me. I'm from a man. This is one of the biggest mistakes that women make. Y'all have babies, right? Some of you fall into this wife role, this house mother role, and then you start looking like a grandma purposely. You just make yourself look like some granny. That thing translates all the way over into your bedroom, man. Your man ain't even attracted to you no more because every time he look at you, you look like an elder. And he's like, we're not that old yet. We're not elders. We still young. We still have a lot of life to live. Why are you trying to make me feel like a senior citizen already? Even when I'm a senior citizen, I'm probably not going to be trying to live like what senior citizen stuff is. An oxygen tank, a walker, or a wheelchair behind me, I'm still going to be trying to be fly. But women, you let go of the most powerful thing that you have. It's your sexy. Your sexy is the most, I can't stress enough. Your sexy is the most powerful thing that you have. You don't believe me? You don't believe me? That sexy make men lose careers. That sexy make bums turn millionaires because they get on their damn grind to stay with and get some of that sexy. That sexy switches everything up. I've seen powerful men get brought to their knees over and over and over again because of that sexy. Don't lose it. And don't try to make anybody make you feel like you have to turn it off. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. Be sexy. Be any man that say him love woman and tell us that he doesn't want to see sex, he's lying. He lying. He just trying to keep you in a position where, okay, you're tucked in the corner. So now I can go look for sexy. What I really like. Because I bet you were sexy when he decided he wanted to keep you tucked. Don't lose your sexy. It's one of the biggest things that women do is lose their sexy. Mrs. B Talk Health and Wellness says, shout out and thank you. I appreciate you greatly. Mrs. B says it was a themed party. Almost every woman that attended there was dressed like that. Good morning. All right. Thank you for that. Some insight. She says it was a themed party, but the themed party went international. The themed party went viral. The theme party pictures went into magazines and on footages on social media everywhere. Now everybody sees it. It's one thing to go out, theme party. You know, one thing that my wife does? Say we're dressing up to go out, right? I see her. All right. So for the other night we were going out, and she came out the room, in a flowery kind of gown looking stuff. The first thing I thought to myself, and pardon my language, I'm gonna curse. If you don't like cursing, cover your ears. The first thing I thought to myself when she came out the room, because she was in the room using that side of the house, she has to put my daughter to sleep first. It's a whole task when we get ready to go out. So she got to put my daughter to sleep first. Then she got to get dressed and do all that other stuff, you know, the makeup, put her clothes on, whatever. She comes out the room. She's fully covered in a long gown, floral stuff, flowers everywhere. And I'm like, what the fuck is she wearing? That's exactly what I thought to myself. I was like, I know she's not going nowhere with me like that. Because it looked like my granny house dress, right? And I'm like, oh, your outfit look nice though, babe. But I'm saying, I was like, yeah, but the outfit look nice. I said, babe, but that thing wear, it look nice, man. And she didn't really say nothing. I guess she didn't hear me or something. When we left, now my older children are up and they're in the house, right? So they're gonna watch over their small siblings until we come back. We're gonna disappear for a few hours, right? All right. When we got ready to leave, when we got in the car, I was like, "Are that y'all wear for real?" And she was in my mind. I'm still like, God, is this what the fuck she's wearing? Because I never see my wife wear no shit like this, like outside to the kind of event that we were going to. Okay. When we drove out and left, she did like this and peeled that shit off and revealed what she had under it. And I was like, yes, now we talking. And revealed a sexy ass revealing outfit. And I was like, yeah, I think probably some fucking gonna be going on in the car tonight or something, because that's how I'm looking at her. Again, pardon my language, but I put it out there, right? So don't think because you have children you have to give up on yourself. You know what I mean? Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning. Man, that's not respect for what go on. Yeah, I keep my resignation, you know. I don't think I'm ever forget it either, bro. Whether they have upon speaker or Bluetooth, cause you know we can't hear you. No, I said y'all said y'all said something that resonated with me. What's that? Bro, you said, have you ever seen a Chinese woman pumping her own gas? Or a pregnant Chinese lady outside walking around by herself? Very rarely, if ever, probably, and some of us never. So now ask yourself this. They always say America is majority white, right? And the white people got upper hand, right? So now, when they mention inequality, I noticed that they only group blacks, whites, and Hispanics. Because if they put Asians as a group in the mix, right? Not only do Asians as a group out-earn black and Hispanics, they also out-earn whites. If you look at Asians as a group, not only do they have higher credit scores than blacks and Hispanics, but also whites. Lower divorce rate than any other group.
more marriages
Mm-hmm.
than any other group.
Mm-hmm.
So why are they able to have such a good standard of living in America when a lot of the blacks, whites, and Hispanics are basically tearing each other down? They're like their own worst enemies.
I think because they stick to their tradition.
Ah,
Yeah, they stick
because
to.
you got because discipline and morals and regiment matters, right?
Yeah,
You can't just
yeah,
have throw all the rules out the window and say anything goes, right?
yeah. For them,
So
yes.
now, so now that's why even when the white people that got money could spend their way for their kids to get to certain schools,
Mm-hmm.
you look at the elite universities and it's dominated by Asian kids.
Mm.
Their parents ain't have to spend no crazy money to send them to no prep school.
Africans are right there, you know. But the Africans go back to Africa, a lot of them. But
Yeah, but
Africans are right there. If you look up and see who earns the most PhD degrees in the United States of America, just look it up. It's not
it's
Asians.
nah, because you got to remember India is considered a part of Asia. So between the Indians and the Chinese, they dominate tech. Because look at Google.
Mm-hmm.
Google is run by an Indian, darker than me and you.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Microsoft. Bill
Mm-hmm.
Gates stepped down, Balmer stepped down. They gave it to an Indian, Satya Nadella, darker than me and you. Look
Sure.
at Pepsi, run by an Indian, darker than me and you.
Mm-hmm.
These are people considered Asian. So now the country was so racist. Why is it that the dominant tech companies, look, we're on YouTube, run by Google, run by an Indian darker than me and you.
Mm-hmm.
So why is racism, right? Couldn't stop them from being at the top of corporate America in the most powerful positions. How
Right.
did these people get there in less than one generation?
Right. Good question though. Off topic about the dressing stuff and relationship and stuff, but good question. It's so
But
interesting.
it all goes
So
back to
yeah.
that though, because the reason why we dress the way we dress as black people
Mm-hmm.
is because our culture, our environment. The reason why we party the way we do, our culture, our environment.
Hold up.
The reason we speak the way we do. You know what I mean? Environment shapes you. It's like
So
nature
you
versus nurture.
so you think Ciara's dress would have something to do with black people not being at the top of the totem pole?
Not necessarily her dress, right? But ask yourself, how many Chinese ladies, right, that have PhDs or whatever, right? Would you
Mm-hmm.
see out there looking like that? And why are they, as a group, so successful? When a lot of people believe that, oh, white people got the upper hand in the country. But that's not true because the numbers so different. Asians also have more college degrees than everybody as a group.
Yeah, I know a lot of poor Chinese people though, man. Look, okay, look,
I'm
listen,
not saying
listen.
there's not poor and they're not rich, right? But you have, as a group, I said,
Right, but okay, so as a group, that's a whole different story.
yeah, because
That's
we
it
are
ain't
not
it.
only blacks and whites and Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? Because when they look at inequality, they always make it look like white people have the upper hand. But as a group, when you look at blacks, whites, Hispanics, and Asians have higher salaries. Asians have more college degrees. Asians have
Yeah, but
lower
it
divorce
goes it
rates.
goes it goes deeper than that though. For me, it's about their unity. Period. It ain't about who's showing some ass in public. It's about unity.
Yeah, because
Period.
they got a moral fabric, right? That they stick to,
It's
and their
unity.
moral fabric won't let them do certain things.
It ain't certain things. It's unity. It's just like this. Okay, they don't give a damn if that other Asian person was outside ass out. If you touch one of theirs, there are going to be consequences to pay. For us, it's different. You understand? They don't. It's for them. It's not so much because okay. So I know a lot of them in the artsy world as well, and a lot of them in the music entertainment industry as well. Heavily tattooed, piercings, heavy in the face, all that. But they are with their community. Do you see what's going on right now with China Mac, by the way? And what's his name?
Yeah, you talking about academic and Charleston White and then
Okay, did
canceling
you
the
see
show
what's
and all
going
that
on with?
stuff.
Did you see what's going on with? Just giving you a small part. Did you see what's going on with Charleston White and DJ and not DJ Academics?
In China
He's
Mac.
and China Mac. Charleston
Yeah,
White and China Mac. You saw what's going on?
yeah, he went crazy.
Okay, but do you see how quickly uh Charleston piped down?
Yeah, because they shut that down. Because
Okay,
money's power.
but do you know who
And the
China?
agents
Do you
got
know
it.
who China Mac is?
Yeah, China Mac is a freaking ex-con gangbanger.
Okay, but China Mac is more than that though. Ex-con gangbanger, but China, see, the Chinese people gang different than how we gang. You understand?
Of
They
course, they're
okay.
well organized.
All right, all right. So and but for them, it's about love. So when and love for their own. So when a person like China Mac steps out, and he still is seen as a person that represents them. They what we do is we cut off our own arms. We're like, Sierra out here looking like a hoe. Bye, Sierra. Cut her off. She doesn't represent us. You just said China Mac is a gangbanger, ex-con slash. The Chinese community still sees him as ours. So if you say nothing out of line about him, it's on.
But the thing is, if Charleston White had addressed this dude by himself, it would have been a different thing. Well, he basically said all Chinese people, bro, and then he said some horrible things about what to do with Chinese children and how you should go rob Chinese people's stores and
Yeah,
like, bro, crazy.
but he says a lot of shit about black people all the time, and we don't do nothing. But he says a lot of shit about black people all the time, and we don't do nothing.
But because he's black.
But still,
but think about it. When that lady said that racist stuff, that had the cooking show, bro, that they shut down.
You said he's black, right? You said he's black, right? So
yeah, because if you Jamaican and y'all said, yo, some Jamaican are rain, y'all criticize Jamaican, nobody not gonna say nothing to you.
No,
let an outsider do it.
Criticizing is different from saying what he said. You heard what he said. I don't want to repeat it.
Yeah,
I can't get. I would never get up here and say anything like that about Jamaican children and about Jamaican people. Now, if I did, I would expect to be checked and corrected by my own people. But we're so used to us destroying us that when we do it, we brush it off like, it's nothing.
If you go to the why when he said something about Chinese people, something happened. But what about all the times when you were saying you rape white women, bro? He's been saying that. He's saying, "Oh, I went to jail for killing a white man. I like killing white people." He didn't get shut down for none of that.
I never heard him say he liked killing white people.
Yeah, bro, he's been saying that.
I never heard him say that, but I was paying attention to the Asian thing, and I'm using it as an example.
The man said him go to jail as a juvenile, kill one white man, and then laugh and then stand up there and wait for the police.
But he came back and said what?
And like rape white woman. He's been saying this since last year, and it's like, how is this dude still on social media?
He came back and said what though, bro? He came back and said, at that time I was young and ignorant, didn't know this was my chain of thought, didn't know I had to reinvent myself. I realized that the rap music I listened to was gearing us for prison. I realized that this whole thing that I was living in was gearing us for prison. He came back. There was more to what he said than what you're saying right now.
Yes, you
can't just cut out that little piece there. You can't just cut out that little piece there because then it means something totally different. But back to the dress, back to the dress, and back to the Asians being on top and all this, right? It's unity that's stopping us from being there at the top of the totem pole. It don't have nothing to do with our women's ass being out. In Africa, they swinging titties still and ass out, and they have a different structure there. Them same women that are swinging titties out there have a different structure. They're not loose. I forgot what the tribe is called, and that's not how they walk around all the time. You will pass them on Monday, well dressed in Western. Is it the Hausa tribe? You will pass them on Monday dressed in like Western attire, and then a ceremony on Wednesday, and they'll be before the king, titties out. It's not about the body part that's showing or what she's wearing. It's about us as a people not having love for us as a people. Those other groups you mentioned, they will murder every other set of people if you do anything to their people. We don't flex like that. That's where our problem is.
I understand what you're saying, right? But I'm not saying that the dress is going to make you dull or make you anything or the way, like, clothes is nothing. What I'm saying is the culture, the mentality, the environment, all of that shapes the way that you think, the way that you speak, the way that the food that you eat. You know what I mean? The things that you enjoy. A lot of that is shaped by your environment.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
that's true.
Unless our environment changes, It's not just about no dress or no music, or it's a whole all together. Is what makes these people stay in the top positions because their whole culture combined. Like you said, their unity, right? Their morals, right? The language that ties them together. All of that combined is what keeps them on top.
Their love for each other. That's what keeps them
That
on
too,
top.
of course.
I didn't say all that other stuff. Their love for each other is what keeps them on top. And because they love each other, all that other stuff falls into place. Right?
But man, kind of wicked, you know, so look, I remember say China, Japan, them kill off almost all that Asia, you know, until America takes part in World War II, you know. So
But,
like I said, Chinese people and Japanese people and Korean people and Cambodian people are friendly.
yeah, I'm in a business about them, brother. Not even enough to discuss them one sentence more, actually.
Yeah, because like you know what I mean. But Charleston White recently was saying he raped white women, bro. So you gotta look that up, bro.
I'll go look it up because no, I'll go look it up, but I'm guaranteeing you that there's more to it than what you just said.
Yeah, bro, but he says wild, provocative stuff, and that's how he gets the views, bro. That's his angle, is to be provocative.
Right. That's true.
Well, he went too far, bro, you know, but I would have expected him to get shut down a long time ago because some of the egregious stuff he says, like, how do you not get banned and blackballed? I see people get blackballed for way less. So how did he last so long? Like you're saying, how did he say all these things about black women and black kids and all this extra stuff and still was able to keep going and going?
Because he's saying a lot of real shit.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And that's maybe what keeps him is because when he starts to say, yeah, I'm a real community leader, and yeah, I really do work with the kids, because he has proof of that and it's not a lie.
Yeah, it's more than that. I listen to him extensively. It's more than that. It's not just, oh, I work with the kids. It goes deep. Listen to him speak. Listen to one of his speeches, and then you'll understand completely.
Nah, bro, I watched.
Not bits and pieces,
for like
completely.
over a year, bro. You know, probably way more than you, because you probably got like a regular life. Bro, I work from home and just babysit, bro. So I don't really got none of people be online all day. So I bet, like when you said the China Mac shit, I told you he had Charleston White had a show with DJ Academics in New York at the Gramercy Theater, right? A bunch of politicians got involved. It wasn't China Mac. It was a bunch of politicians that started putting pressure on Live Nation. And then Live Nation told Academics either they take Charleston White off the bill, right? Or they pull in the plug. And then Academics is like, fuck it, we can send the whole show.
Yeah, Charleston explained that too. But
yeah, bro, I don't have nothing else to do. Like, you got a job and kids and all that other stuff. Like, bro, I don't have nothing else to do but stay home all day.
All right, man. So the original, all right. Big up, and thank you for calling in too.
No problem, man.
All right, fam. Yeah. If I'm gonna walk around thinking that my wife not showing her ass to the public is gonna save the black nation, then hey man, we don't. It's us. We don't love each other enough. We're not united enough as a people, and that's why we are where we're at as a people. And I have nothing to do with your woman ass showing in a nice outfit or a see-through outfit. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning, SouFLo.
Good morning.
That we just was talking and too much. First of all, because it seems like him put down everybody else for the Asian them. I live in New York, and trust me, them can't feel like they don't know you. You could say good morning all you want. Them act like they don't know you.
Because they're locked into their own, and I don't blame them. And I don't find nothing wrong with it. There are people that is so focused on them and theirs, them mind them business to the T kind of thing, that I don't see nothing wrong with it. If we did do the same thing that they were doing, we would probably be where they're at as a people as well. That's how I see it.
I tell the Jamaican them when live around. Every day them argue about something else. I say it to myself.
Yeah. And people see us and they see that. You know?
Yeah, no unity.
Right.
But more I said something about the dress because I did there with one American boy one time. I call him boy. Because every clothes I put on, I have a problem.
You want him to death? You want him what's together? You want your man?
Yeah.
And in
but I know 6 years I stay with it.
Rotted. And every clothes you put on him had a problem with it?
Problem. If me even want to go, I'm a family yard. Oh, why you want to go over there? No, you need to stay in the house with me. It's a control thing.
Yeah.
you know.
That madman that.
And me I tell you, me I was to run because if me to see it is either him a kill me or me go kill him. So
Yeah.
no. But
Yeah.
thank you for your show. I love it. I watch it every day.
Big up yourself here and
Yeah,
thank you.
man.
And don't go there with
All
no
right.
man who are gonna have you under them kind of lock and key there. Yeah, big up
No,
man.
sir, I learn my lesson right now. I rather stay single for now.
All right.
You know, because I'm happy that we're here.
All
The
right.
minute you pick up some crosses, man, who want control where you wear,
Trouble.
no. Me like when you stay with your wife. Trust me, she not gonna wear.
We will see.
All right.
All right. Listen, I'm not saying you should go out dressed like this, walk the streets every day. Because if I saw you outside like this during the daylight, just out the road, I would think you was out here selling pum pum. Honestly, I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. If you notice the context in which it happened, right? Sarah was out to an event. We now know that it was a themed party, and she showed up there, but she didn't show up by herself. She showed up with her husband there dressed like that, him holding her hand and approving of what she was wearing. So where was the problem? I'm not encouraging, cause my wife couldn't walk road like that. She can't just put on G-string and walk out the house in sneakers and G-string and two batty jaw clapping, talking about I'm going to the grocery store, I'll be back. I'm not co-signing that. I'm not co I'm not co-signing that. But and that's not what we're promoting, right? I'm talking about something totally different. Seeing? So put that in context also. You're not babysitting your own children. Hmm. What that mean? You're not babysitting your own children. I don't know what that mean. Him did I try control you? Oh, the girl. Yeah. Yeah. If you can't go over to your family, I don't know, you might have a male cousin over there where you look kind of too extra close to, and the man suspicious. I don't know. I don't get involved in a people relationships. I get to realize a man and woman relationship can be very complicated, and some people can be very, how should I say it now? Can be very sneaky. Some people can be very sneaky. You see the boy hang out over Auntie June house all the time. You go there and feel like say it's a cousin. Next thing you hear from the shout, him not related by blood. Him just hang out over there all the time, and him a hang out over there from him was a little boy. Him a big man now. Him still hang out over there. She go over there. As she him a feature and him she a feature. You're at home thinking, oh, she's just over by her family. She's spending time with the guy that been hanging out over Auntie June house from him was a little boy. Yeah, and he must slap it and send it back come gear. So I don't know. People have their different reasons why they don't want whatever. But if a man just don't want you to be around your family, that should be a red flag in itself. That should be a red flag. I don't want nobody hold my foot here. So when me ready for go, me want to go. And when me ready for come back, me want to come back. And it should be the same. I extend that same gratitude. Go and go which party I go. You know? And come back when you feel like come back. Me not own you. And that's how it should be. Some people do act like they own people though, which is crazy as hell. See somebody acting like they own you. Weird stuff. Where that's the first step right there to fatality. Yeah. When they start acting like they own you, cut. Cut. Nobody don't own nobody. First is gonna be act like they own you. Next thing is gonna be words. If I can't have you, no one else can. But you saw that coming. Why you think they were telling you you can't go here? You must wear this. You can't stay there. You must come back here. Where you going when you're coming back? Out of respect in a relationship, you should be you should have respect enough for your partner to say, hey babe, I'm heading to so and so, I'll be back, or tomorrow I have my hair appointment at so and so, at 10 o'clock. Me here usually take about 2 3 hours to do blah blah blah, whatever, like that. You don't just disappear and have your partner wondering where the hell is she at, and that kind of. And when you pop up, you're like, well, you can't tell me what to do, when to go, and when to come back. Is problems that. So it's how you do stuff, really. You know, it's really how you do stuff. Out of respect, say what it is and keep it moving. But nobody should be holding your feet. You can't go there, so you can't go there, so. That's weird vibes. Really weird vibes. One of the things I wanted to talk about this morning off all that was the 44% hike in minimum wage in Jamaica. Big up to Jamaica for making a small step. I want to say the Right Honorable Andrew Holness have Peanut Dread parading him. Oh, let me get this message out there real quick before I get into the 44% hike in minimum wage. Andrew is pulling out all the stops. He's pulling out all the stops. It's not only the 44% hike in minimum wage. One of them institution here has completely free education up to an associate's degree level. The youth them not really have no business to be out a roadside doing nothing and not getting a skilled trade or something in the meantime, right? These are good things. Have to say it's good when it's good. Let me say something about Andrew and Peanut Dread. The Rasta man asked for some help. He says he's been living in these deplorable conditions. He got hurt as he was, elevating himself in life, fixing up his little house and all these things. He got hurt in a biking accident and it slowed him down. So now, the man not living too good. And he was asking for some help. And he's been asking for help for a long time because I went back and looked. And he's been asking for help for years now. He's now been made the face of a slogan for for Andrew's political campaign. This kind of reminds me of how he used the Clarks song, Popcorn, Vibes Cartel. And where you get that new Clarks the daddy? And he actually put in where you get that new Clarks the daddy. The whole of the dance hall people them said, fans said, yes, this is our prime minister. Him understand the flex. He knows what's going on, right? Candy Francis says, Hush V, me there here in the corner with you. Manners and respect, everyone. Candy, big up yourself. Yeah, so he has Peanut Dread out there now. Mr. Prime Minister, sir, let me be respectful in all of this. Mr. Prime Minister, sir, I must first give you your respect because you are about the slickest politician I have ever seen come through Jamaica. You are top of the line politician. Bro God, bad. Bro God, bad. He's the slickest. I never said the wickedest. I said the slickest politician I've ever seen come through Jamaica. He knows how to stir and play the crowd. The man draw for Peanut Dread. Here's my problem that I have. Yo, Erica Senior, Erica, listen. Here's my problem that I have. When you sit Peanut Dread next to you now, right, and you address the nation, so everybody see Peanut Dread face, and you give him his credit, and you said, this is the man that said, Radam. And everybody say, yes, Peanut Dread finally get recognized. And him say Radam and it took off virally. People around the world saying Radam and don't know where it came from. That's one slice of the big cake, sir. When you go down in a this and start to say, we are going to Radam the gunman them. We are going to Radam the gangsters them. We are going to Radam the... Sir, you leave with a security detail. You go back to a mansion with a wall, highlight the wall of China, the Great Wall of China around it, and all kind of Secret Service operatives, people around you, ready for kill to save you, sir. Poor little Peanut Dread go ride off on him little motorcycle, ving down the street, and one of them madhead boy here, sir, are going to buck him up out a road and say, yo, informer boy, you go Radam gunman, Radam this yacht. In other words, stop use Peanut Dread. I talk about you, this is what we're going to Radam the gunman them. And we're going to if you want to do that, do it. But don't put me right next to you when you are do it like me and you come up with this plan here. Poor Peanut Dread probably can't even get a license firearm from FLA. But you know, I drag around this man all over the place about Radam. I don't have a problem with that. Him slick. You see, the other day when they had the whole capture land thing, and Andrew Holness, his administration, I won't say him in particular, even though he was on the scene, they went over there and they started to bulldoze the people them house. And I'm not talking about no wood shack kind of house. I talk about concrete dwellings and establishments that look like some of our house are foreign, right? Good looking houses. Use the bulldozer, lick down the people them house, the people them ball out, murder. Him say, stop, 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 stop. This is captured land. The people them say, but sir, we have with papers. He said, okay, we're not going to bulldoze anymore. At the time, I said to myself, shouldn't you have done the back work before you bulldoze down the people them house? Right? I remember one young lady saying, yo, you know how much more work for this? You know how much we save for putting on this? And everything like that. As him grab again, and yesterday had her on parade, saying to the people that although we bulldoze down our house, she get a new piece of land to buy at a very good rate. Mr. That brother is slick. Anyhow, you can bulldoze people's house and then come back and make the same people rejoice that you get them a piece of land somewhere else at discount. You're good. You're good. You are, sir, you are the slickest politician I have ever seen in Jamaica. Me know why the people am confused now. Because if I was there, I'd probably be confused too. Yeah. Yeah, man, a top chopper this one. So anyway, Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Thursday announced a 44% increase in the national minimum wage. Of course, we're saying, yay, hi, Papa. Triggering loud and sustained desk thumping among the government legislators and shouts. Hear what they were shouting out in there. Radam! That Jamaican slang that is now used in this case to express delight. Radam was usually used in like car lick up in a car. Radam! Car get away from man. You never park it good on the hill, put it in a gear. It roll with gun, crash up down a gully. Radam! Man a ride pan bike, doing too much, dilly-dally, one wheel up, the bike fling him away. Radam! They were using it in Parliament. Radam! 44% hike. A change that is very welcomed. Listen to it. So the Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Andrew Holness, who was delivering his presentation in the 2023-2024 budget debate in Parliament, said that from June 1st of 2023, the national minimum wage will increase in Jamaica from $9,000 per week, which is per 40-hour week, $9,000 to $13,000 per 40-hour week. How much is 9,000 Jamaican dollars in US dollars? My phone couldn't go louder. 9,000. This is what the regular per 40-hour week is. 9,000 Jamaican dollars equals $54 or $59.34. So the people have did that work for $60 a week. Okay. $60 a week. Your brothers and sisters in Jamaica working for $60 a week. 60 US dollars a week. Long time I've been talking about this and we brush it off. $60 a week. All right. He says, starting June 1st of 2023, The national minimum wage will increase from $9,000 per week per 40 hours work week to 13,000. How much is 13,000 Jamaican dollars in US dollars? So now them have 85 US dollars and 71 cents a week. And the people then ball out, run up! Yo, me have to laugh. I swear to God, I have to laugh because this is why I have to laugh, right? When you are so skilled that you can make somebody believe that you actually gave them something by giving them a $85 a week salary, you're a friggin' magician. You are a damn magician. You are the slickest politician I've ever seen. Now, on one hand, I'm not gonna say nothing too bad about it because me know the people them who are working hard and this is it, right? Them still I say, boy, SouFLo it better than nothing still. Me know say is a little extra of dollars. But you see how they do the headline, a 44% increase. You're thinking, damn, that's nearly 50% increase. It almost I got halfway to double. They now earn $85.71 per week. You know, say taxes come out of that, right? Okay, I'm just saying. So the increase that he said is the largest in 20 years. That's to show you how long they've been pressing down the people. The increase, he said, is the largest in 20 years, setting off more shouts of approval on his side of the chamber. Radam! Since assuming office in 2016, the minimum wage has increased from 6,200 to 13,000. So this administration has increased the minimum wage by 110% in 7 years. That math is not mathing, sir. It's not really the add up for it. Pointing out that the cumulative inflation over the same period was less than 50%, and even in the US dollars, it represents a 66% increase in the minimum wage. Where? This is what Holness said, boasted. This government has done more than any previous government to create prosperity for Jamaica and Jamaicans, and we are proud to share the gains with all Jamaicans. Let me run around the world proudly now and tell the world that my Jamaican brothers and sisters work for $85 a week. Yeah, and they have families to support for $85 a week. Oh, you want to fly to Jamaica? You want someplace nice to stay? Okay, tell me how much it costs, right? Right. Their weekly salary is almost not enough for you to stay there nightly. You heard that? Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, fam. How you doing? I'm doing all right. And you?
Fine. I'm on the live, right?
Yes, you're on the live. Everybody is listening.
Okay, well, I need to off the live. What time can I speak to you?
In about 30 minutes.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
All right.
Have a nice day, and everyone who listening and copying on your channel. Thanks us very much.
All right. Bless
All right, bye-bye.
She have lavish figure me, she don't want to hear it. Anyhow, so the government said that they recognize that the contribution of wage earners such as household workers, artisans, laborers, store clerks, security personnel, these people are vital to the success of manufacturers, hotel professionals, lawyers, doctors, teachers in meeting the country's national productivity and service targets. As such, the administration is committed and prepared to take decisive actions to set minimum wage earners on the right track towards livable wage. Let me be the first to say, I don't know where the word livable came into this, sir, but again, you are so slick that these people are easily confused. $85 per week. I will tell anybody overseas to go visit Jamaica. It's beautiful. Fly in. The people there, their weekly salary is not enough for me to stay in a decent place for one night. Their weekly salary is not enough for me to stay in a decent place for one night. And I'm not talking about a luxury place, because them whole month salary is not enough for me to stay. But their weekly salary is not enough for me to stay in a decent place for one night. He also announced an increase. There is more increase here. More increase here. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Yeah, Angel Holness and the politicians only get away with that because people don't understand economics. Because if the price of something goes up, the demand starts to come down. The higher it goes up, the more the demand comes down. So if you raise the price of workers too high, the demand for workers will naturally come down based on just basic economics. Okay. So now, if you raise it to an extreme, there won't be no jobs for them people to show up and get. So there is no free lunch. And he can't just sign into legislation that these people are just going to automatically go and get this money, because somebody has to pay it, and it's not coming out of his pocket. What are the business owners going to do? Are they going to agree that these people are worth that wage? Because there's a reason why the marketplace pays that in Jamaica versus what they pay here.
What's the reason? So there's what's the reason?
Way that the politicians could come and legislate it into effect where the market automatically has to give this, because those people are showing the jobs that don't exist for a wage that they can't get.
Yeah, you're just talking in a circle and confuse the whole of it, sir. Over here, we talk basics so everybody can understand. So I'm asking you, okay, so what do you think the minimum wage should be in Jamaica? Let's start there.
There should be a market that decides by supply and demand what the rate should be without the government sticking their hand in the middle. Because when the government sticks their hand in the middle, it always leads to unforeseen consequences, no matter how good their intentions seem to be. Like homelessness in New York and LA is high because they have some of the strongest rent control laws in the country. Rent control from the 80s was so strong in New York that people grandfathered in and won't let those apartments go. You got people living in Central Park, right? In front of Central Park in brownstones that are still paying less than $1,000 a month because of rent control. And they try to make sure that they pass that on to their family. So of course homelessness is going to stay high because the market can't function.
Okay, I got it. I appreciate you.
Yeah, there's no free lunch.
All right, thank you. I didn't understand one last thing what I said, but thank you, caller, for calling in. Now back to what I did I said before, because I like to keep it basic where we all understand, like A, B, C. Yeah. So back to the basics again. Round here, so $85.71. If you tell me, so you find a nice place to stay in Jamaica for $85.71 a night, me would have said, yeah, right. Okay. All right. So anyway, he also announced an increase. There is more increase on the way. Increase in minimum wage for industrial security guards from $10,500 per week. Remember, me telling us that me get the security guard a little thing, and my wife said that was more. I think I gave him like 15,000 or something, and that was more than his weekly salary. And I was surprised. I was like, "You sure?" And she was like, "Yes, babe, I'm more than in weekly salary. That's why I'm the look at it, because the security guard looked at it and he said, "You sure?" He said, "You sure?" to me, when me give him. And I was like, yo, my brothers and sisters, some of them so humble, they work hard and they're not into no criminal nothing. Right? That's why I tell people all the time, so Jamaica full up a whole heap of good people. Don't let the narrative fool you when we say stuff like, enough of them no want to go work. Yeah, we have enough lazy people that don't want to go work, but we have a whole heap of hustlers and a whole heap of people who are willing to go to work regardless of what the salary is, because they know what the other alternative is and them no want in that, right? So in the game, he actually said, "You sure?" Like that. I say, "Yeah, man." And then me ask babe, why? You sure? And she said, "Because babe, you just give more than the salary." I said, "You sure?" She says, yes, I'm sure. So anyway, security guards will now go from 10,500 a week to 14,000 per week, which will also take effect on June 1st of 2023. Now, that's not a lot of money, but you can understand coming from 10 to 14,000, that's a big change for them, right? How much is 14,000 Jamaican dollars in US dollars? That's 92 US dollars, still under $100. And when Mr. Them working. Okay, so here you have it. 92 US dollars a week is what they get bumped up to from 10,000. Okay, Holness explained that the $1,000 differential between the national minimum wage and the minimum wage for the security guards will be removed at the next increase, noting that the security industry supports every other industry in Jamaica. The Prime Minister said that the administration is deeply saddened by the fact that in recent times, security guards have come under attack and too many have lost their lives on the front line, which is true. It's dangerous to be a security guard in Jamaica. The first thing them youth think about though is slap with the security guard first and everybody else run and they take what they want and then they leave. It's a dangerous job. Putting your life on the line for $92 a week. Sometimes I really feel like say if I was in Jamaica, if I had not elevated to a certain level by like now, I would probably be involved in some criminality because of the blue collar chopper them, me see, not worried about income, right? Or those politicians that are in positions of power. Because everybody else is hurting. Teacher are hurt. All the workers are hurting. All the civil servants are hurting. Firemen are hurt. Police are hurt. Everybody are hurt. Holness told the parliament that effective April 1st of 2023, the flat rate for the minimum wage national insurance scheme, which is NIS, the pension, will be increased by 74%, moving from $1,700 to $3,000. So it's a little money where you collect every month, half of your pension. So 3,000 every month half of my pension. How much is 3,000 US dollars? Jesus Christ, hear me now. 3,000 US dollars. How much is 3,000 Jamaican dollars in US dollars? $19.78. That you collect half of your pension to survive half of. The pensioner who currently receives 2,550 per week, less than $20 a week, about $15 a week, that they will now receive 3,500, which is $19.78 per week, a 37% increase, and those at the top will receive 24% increase, moving from 3,000 to 4,200 per week. So that's a little over $20 right there, probably about $23, $24 right there. Y'all hear these numbers or what? Or I mean, I talk to myself. Holness reminded the House that actual review conduct in 2013 had shown that the sustainability of the NIS was threatened if immediate steps were not taken. In fact, the projections at that time were that cash flow would be negative by 2025 and the scheme would be bankrupt or run out of money by 2033. So them tell the people them. Hear me I say. Oh my gosh. Wicked enough. Wicked enough. These people, I bet you money not one of Andrew Holness himself or any of his cronies have ever relied on that type of money for survival. $85 a week, $64 a week, $92 a week.
So increase them pension and take out more taxes out. They Increase their weekly salary and they take out more NIH
But
taxes.
but see what the pension what they ended up pull.
Babe, and that pension, that's why everybody there quarrel.
$19.78.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so this is truth being revealed, right? All this is these people have been that caller that I called before him up on something different, but these people have been holding on to this money for the longest, spending it for themselves for the longest. This is how they're able to tell you when election time is coming, here's a 44% increase. It didn't just come out of the air. That money had always been there. It could have always been 44% increase and them increase it 44% more. No, again. But they don't want that. They don't want that. So to see how they are like squeezing the bag and like dropping pennies. Hey, mommy, come give me some lover. Come here, give me some lover. Look, mommy, look. I'm trying to show you off. Look, right there. You don't want to be showed off this morning? Look. Well, you can't stay near and mess with my stuff, Milani. If I can't show you off, you can't mess with my stuff. Hi, Pop.
Hi.
You all right?
Yeah, I really want a smaller transformer.
You want a smaller transformer?
Yeah, I got it at Walmart.
Really, Makai? You on here talking about transformer?
Yeah, smaller transformer.
Yes. Tell me something, transformer.
Picnic expensive in a man. That's why I feel for I really feel for my Jamaican people, like those who are getting up and working every day, our blue collar workers and our civil servants. Picnic expensive enough. Picnic expensive enough. So to see these people like put it together every day, boy, I admire you. Me not lie, I admire every one of them. To see them put it together every day and make it look good, we're good. We make suffering look good because of sufferation, that my friend. That's sufferation, and you have to find a way to live with it. And I don't want to hear nobody tell me about SouFLo. It's because you're comparing it in US dollars. When you land in Jamaica, they prefer to get US dollars from you everywhere you go. And they quote everything in US dollars to you. Right? Look how she put my glasses on. You a cat? I love you. These people looking at you like you a cat. Watch my glasses. Yo, say hi, everybody.
Hi.
Say my name is Milani.
My name is Milani.
And I'm my daddy's princess.
Daddy's princess.
Yes, I'm a cutie. And I'm gorgeous. And I'm beautiful. You gonna stay with me?
Yes.
You know your glasses upside down, right? You waving to the people?
Yes.
You know your glasses are upside down, right? Go, mommy, go fix your glasses. Daddy soon come. Okay? All right, daddy soon come. she turned the glasses upside down. Yo, listen, my joy, man. But yeah, people have picnic just like me. And I look at Jamaican children like my children. I look at the families like my families, because we have whole heap of family down there and they live with these wages as well. And this is not no, oh, you live afar and you're all right, you don't know what going on in Jamaica, you shouldn't speak on it. No, we're affected. We're affected. If you care about your family there, you are affected, right? Who the hell is drawing pension for $20? That's crazy. What are you supposed to do with that? Where can you buy in Jamaica for? What can you buy in Jamaica for $20? Jesus Christ, man, yo. I'm not gonna lie. I'll say it again for the last time. I really thought that Andrew Holness would have been the one to come and make significant changes in the country that would have blown all of us away, and that would have been his legacy, from crime and violence all the way through to the socioeconomics of things, he would have just swept it, right? Because it's a youth to come from nothing and grow up and our youth and go through UE and all these things. And I think when he got in there, somebody got, I think all these great people, when I think they have the right ideas until they get there. And then when they get there, the people who really pull the strings sit them aside and say, listen, tomorrow morning you're going to get a briefing. That briefing will contain all the secrets, all the this, all the that. You say anything out loud about any of this, we're going to have to kill you. Just know that we'll hold your family as collateral as well. You're sworn into secrecy. Here we go from here on out. You've been elected now. Now we're going to tell you exactly what we need done here, there, and the other. It has to be. It has to be that. What is Andrew Great true legacy, great goodies? That's a good question. That's a good question. Because under Andrew Holness, why the murder rate spike like, you see, people don't understand this, right? That his job is not to run around and do everything. His job is to delegate. His job is to delegate, put people in position that are qualified to get things done. And if they don't, hold them accountable, move them out the way and put somebody else who could get the job done. That's his job. I don't say we are blame Andrew for everything. How you expect him to do everything? He can do everything. That's his job. You sit and you delegate, right? You gonna like your performance. Last quarter, bare foolishness go on. That's all. You know, I think we're gonna move you around. I think you're better suited over here. You can go into waste management, Mr. Minister of National Security. Cause beer garbage you go on with. You for go over waste management, cause that's what you qualify for, and then bring this young person over here that has all these bright ideas, whatever. Let's explore these. Put him in that position, blah blah blah. He can do that. You see him move people around all the time. But the man just sit down there and just watch everything. And then last minute, right before election is called, draw for peanut dread. Call peanut dread out here. Draw for so and so. Call the girl who will bulldoze our house and bring her out. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Live on the air with SouFLo.
Morning, fam. What on?
Yeah, man, but they are the one listen to your program.
What? Talk to you now.
And what we are trying to really want to agree with some of the things that we have said. And we disagree with some of the things that we have said.
All right. Well, talk to me now, man. Tell me where you disagree with and all these things.
So I agree with the issue for the government. But the question I want to go further is, do you ever run a business in Jamaica?
Wait there. I can't hear you. What you say?
Yeah, do you ever run a business in Jamaica?
Do I ever run a business in Jamaica?
Yes.
No, but I have family members that run businesses in Jamaica.
All right. Do you understand the effect that this gonna have like on business people?
Yeah, but that's them. Okay, my friend, listen, right? I know where this is going. That's what the other caller was trying to say in different words. So now what you're gonna have is you're gonna have business people fighting people who are potential employees or employees. Because if you want a higher wage, then that means more money will come out of my pocket in order to keep you employed. Correct?
Of course. So now.
Okay. So wait there. That's the wicked game. That is the wicked game that they play, and they leave us to fight each other with it.
Okay, yeah, I understand what you're trying to say, and you're right. But what I really want the minimum wage to go up, and I don't disagree with them going up with the minimum wage. But what I'm trying to say,
how are you going to come off as a business person
in Jamaica? This is really gonna put a lot of pressure on business people.
All right.
And this should have been done like in a phase. They should have tried to get it like, say, listen, we want to go to 100%. But listen, let's do it over a year. And you kind of give business people a little
time to adjust.
You know, a little time to adjust. But now you're telling me that I am spending like 300,000 a month to pay my employee, right? And that 300,000 is gonna go up by 44%.
Right.
What do you think is gonna happen to business? The money is not coming out of the government pocket. It's coming out of business people pocket.
All right.
So if business people are spending this money, and people know, like we know, and you know, like you analyzing and you're saying all of these stuff, it's not coming out of the government pocket.
Right.
It's coming out of business people pocket.
Okay, give me some insight then, right? Because obviously you run a business in Jamaica, so give me some insight. I'm
not even in the country, but I do run a business here.
Right, but give me some insight. Where would something come from to ease that burden of the employers or the business owners? In other words, then, I noticed one thing. Jamaica has no, and I spoke about this before, everybody blow it off. Jamaica has no tax return for their citizens. Nobody is asking the government, where's all that money going that we're paying taxes into, right? In the US, you can see where that money goes. And at the end of the, right now, a tax season, and right now you have some woman out there, a collect $10,000 US dollar in a one check. So a lot of people here wait for that time and them use that little money there and them say, okay, now I can fix the car and put some new furniture in the house and pay along upon this and put like a 2,000-3,000 in a savings in case anything happen or whatever. Where is all that going for Jamaica? Where does that money go?
You want me to address? You sure you want me to address that?
Yes, man, because I'm trying to learn.
Okay, because there's a big disconnect when people come and talk about this stuff. Just think about the amount of people that is in the tax net in Jamaica. If you analyze and look at most of people who you communicate with on a daily basis, are they actually paying taxes? Just think about it for a minute.
But the people are working and they're drawing
no.
tax out
What
of them money.
People are working? You know the amount of
the
people.
School teachers, the police officers, the school teachers, the police officers, all them blue collar workers.
But you need to get more people in the tax net.
Right, but there are more people. All them call center there and all these people that run Burger King, McDonald's, and all these fast food places. We can't go down the list and name them, but you know what I'm talking about. These people earn checks from businesses that are on the net and running, so and taxes being collected from their checks.
But it's still not enough people in the tax net because there's too much idle people that's on the street when not working. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well,
what is the unemployment rate in America? The unemployment rate is about 4 or 5%.
Well, maybe
unemployment rate in Jamaica maybe about 50-some%.
No, sir.
Go check it out. Go check it out.
No.
To see the amount of people that is working.
Brother, listen. One thing on the can do is on the can start making excuses for these people because they're gonna stifle and leave us to fight amongst each other for this. There are things that need to be held accountable for, and nobody not holding them accountable for it. Everybody creates an excuse for them so they continue to get by, right?
No,
what is the unemployment rate in Jamaica?
To me, minimum wage should be at least about maybe $25,000. But what I'm saying, it's not gonna happen overnight. You understand?
I know
I think this is a move in the right direction, but it still have a double whammy because you think about where they go on with business people. All business people are gonna digest this.
According to this is out of Jamaica, the unemployment rate is 9.18%, not 50% like you said. So this is as of
the amount of Jamaica people when I not national ID.
This is as of 2021. Well, you tell me if you go look it up, and that I only place me can look it up. Otherwise, I have to go guess it.
But you ever try to send money to somebody at Jamaica and them tell us you have no ID? Them the people in the account to be in a.
Never had a problem there before, but.
Okay, well.
I never had that problem before. I never had that problem before. I'm gonna send money go get enough people. I SouFLoTV this in a brother. People call and ask for help. I'm send money all the time. I never got a problem sending money with anybody who said they don't have no ID. But I know that they do exist. I know that those type of people do exist. Mostly young people though, who probably aren't even old enough to be a part of the workforce yet.
No, well, a lot of the youth them right now.
Here's what I'm saying.
Basically, not even have a national ID because them are do them look wrongs, and because them are do them wrongs, them just don't want to be a part of the system.
Here's what I'm saying, right? That's a whole nother topic. But here's what I'm saying.
All right.
Here's what I'm saying. That money that we are gonna cry about as a business owner, and I understand what you're saying, it was too sudden. But this is Andrew in his madness. This is him trying to grab all the votes he can before election call, right? Okay, so he comes up with this overnight, and now business owners are crying because they're like, yo, we're in March. You said this kick in a June. Like, you could have given a better extension of this. You could have told us this from last year and say this year, this time is when it would kick in. It would have better prepared us, that kind of stuff, right? But him never do that. This is him running around wild. This is him running around wild with no damn plan, just like he has no plan for crime, and just throwing everything out there. Come make we increase the pension. Pension $19.95. Come make we increase the minimum wage 44% from 10,400 to 14,000. Come make we input on an extra 1,000 for the security guard them. Come make we. That's just him trying to grab the people so that when election time comes, everybody say, yes, the best government we ever had. And that's how Jamaica people, licky, curry goat and white rice, they're voting for you. But that's what he's doing. At the end of the day, though, the money that you're talking about, it could be sourced. It could be sourced. It could be sourced from that same pot that I'm talking about, where the taxes.
So you're saying that the taxes that the government collects supposed to pay you as an employee of an organization?
No, I never said the tax supposed to pay. I said everybody would look forward to something at the end of the year, and at the end of and it would contribute to a better standard of living.
So before I go, what I really want to get from you, because I'm a little confused based on your stand, because at one point you're saying that you don't agree with the government raising all of it.
No, I never said that.
44%.
No, I never said that. I never said that. I never said that, though. Yeah, I said give you a chance, but you're saying something I never said. I never said I don't agree with them raising it. I said it's a good thing, it's well needed, but they could have done that a long time ago. The people here have money, okay? So for the Jamaicans who think that they don't have any money, they have a whole lot of money sitting on. But they trickle the money down to the people like peasants, and they use it strategically for when election time come around and all that other stuff. Other than that, you suffer till I save you.
Stupidness, but you know.
Suffer till I save you, and then when we save you, I am your savior, so vote for me, and they do. Let's be honest.
That's real talk.
All right, sir.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, both parties they are guilty of it.
Yes. Yes. That's why the people them tired. But hear what? The people them tired, but they're not voting for nobody else. They're tired, but they won't sidestep the two systems that are in place for how long. I'm gonna say, yo, make we give this UIC thing a chance, because them the two there, you hear what you just said? Both parties does it. Both parties have always done it. Both parties have always done the same things.
I don't. When it comes to the politics part, we have to choose the party when it comes to the next election. Because I don't even know which one of the parties is better for you right now.
All right, try something where you never poison you before yet.
Yeah.
That part there. Try one when never poison you before yet, and if it poison you, you dash it away and go back to the old poison where you know before.
As I said, I don't know, but it's. I'm just sticking to. I don't really, when it comes to the politics side, it's rough. But we're talking about this minimum wage, and just respect where to have business people.
Yeah, and it's all wrapped, but it's all wrapped up in that, my brother.
I'm just saying that you will say, well, okay, yeah, the government, implement. It's like you're kind of confused because you have to.
No, man, don't be confused. I I read through this thing this morning because I wanted people to know that wages were increased. And I said, look at the amount that they've increased it at. First of all, the people weren't making anything in the first place. Now, I understand that those who currently own businesses, their business model is based off of what the wages were nationally as they existed before them get raised. So, of course, if there is an adjustment in the budget, it's going to affect a ripple effect somewhere along the line. Yes, workers are going to get paid a little bit more, but that means that people who own these businesses are going to be hurt in some way also, because they have to kick out more money to pay these people, and nobody is paying them for that extra money they have to kick out. It's a double-edged sword. I understand all that you're saying, but don't be confused about what I'm saying. My thing, what I'm saying is this: them people are wicked. Them people here have the people them eating crumbs for the longest. And now when it's election time, they're trying to scrape up votes. Them try to give the people them a little bit more crumbs, and the people are supposed to celebrate getting a little bit more crumbs. Here you come as a business owner, ready to fight for your rights, which you have a right to do, because you're saying, yo, they should have gave us more time. How you think this is going to affect us? But politicians at this point are going to turn their backs, and the fight is now going to be between local Jamaicans, those who own a business and hope to employ people, and those who hope to work at the local businesses that are owned by Jamaicans locally. That's how it is.
You ever consider why they don't have like a straight minimum wage across the board in America? When you got different states, you have different minimum wage, and they must say, okay, why can't we have one minimum wage of $15 an hour?
I've never heard of that. I know we have minimum wage across the board in the US. Okay, so first of all, right, a standard minimum wage is set. But then you have different states that can play with it and say what they want to say. But a standard is set, which means no state can go below a certain number.
So I see states now still paying $12, $11 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not get the same money in New York where you will get in Florida.
But the cost of living in New York is not cost of living in Florida.
And that is the reason why, not one size fits all.
But cost of living in Jamaica is expensive in Rasi, coming like cost of living in the US.
It's wicked at Jamaica.
It's coming like cost of living in the US. And every year it gets closer and closer to it. You know?
So I guess they're going in the right direction.
Yes, man, they're going in the right direction.
Yes, but it's not going to be a big problem with many in a different area right now.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Hold on. One lady beside me wants to say something. Hold on.
All right.
Morning, sir.
Morning, ma'am. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right. What you saying?
The brother contradicted himself. 6 to 1, half a dozen idea.
All right, sir.
Food rates.
All right.
Gas rates. Taxi fare rates. Education cost rates.
Mm-hmm.
And it's minimum wage and pay now increase. All people are going to pay.
All right. See that?
So you can't the man do something good. You have one side of applaud him and you have one side of tearing down.
Yeah. And the whole of them
come like a Jesus now in sacrificing himself for everybody's sin. But at the same time, nobody
no compare him to no Jesus. He's a wicked politician that man that sit down them know what them are do. Them are trickle the money down to way, and we are call them Jesus when we get the crumbs. But yeah, it's a good thing.
If CMP coming up power,
same thing.
I see it.
So what do you think about UIC?
If Labour coming up power,
same thing. All right.
You cannot please human beings.
And you said that because them give you the same thing for the whole of your lifetime. Not true?
And
not true?
At the same time, a man around a country.
You hear what I ask you though? You say PMP and JLP are the same thing, and them all give you the same thing, not true?
It takes someone else that doesn't have the other.
All right, so why don't you not try something new?
Which is?
The UIC.
Jamaica, listen, what is UIC?
It's another political party in Jamaica, just like JLP and PNP. But them have a completely different agenda than JLP or PNP.
But at the same time, every politician will come in. Nobody now come in a power or office.
Why?
Deborah and Miss Jerry.
You see that this are the thing.
Deborah and Jerry.
Everybody are gonna stick to them poison, and that go on. And when once they do that, we're gonna keep getting the same results for years and years to come. That's all. So just put it this way then. Everybody make up their mind for suffer longer then. I hate that.
Listen, when I suffer or no suffer, the country has to run and rule by somebody. Every country. Everywhere you go, there's rules and there's law.
Yeah, but may I say, choose somebody to run it who are gonna run it different from what the same BS where y'all get all along.
All right. The same where you this run it by the same, right?
The same slackness where y'all get all along. Choose somebody else where I gonna give you something different.
No, but what I said, the same choose a different government, right?
Yeah.
When they choose a government, you so sure it might gonna make a difference.
You're not sure. You're not sure, but it's a chance you're taking because you already know what the other two give you.
What I am saying is every government have them own pricing and everybody has to take the vote where they might get and figure it out.
All right.
The minimum wage, me not see nothing wrong with what the man do with the minimum wage. Because in reality, them cannot compare minimum wage for another country that is more on a solid base. Because even in America, people is still complaining because the minimum wage here cannot pay a bill because rent a park, you can't get a 1 bedroom for under $1,000. If you work 40 hours a week at $15 an hour, how much is that? Can that pay a bill?
Yeah, but jobs there till you're full. So even one time you
but what if you can't work but one job?
They're gonna shock up with somebody else, man, who can work one next job.
What if you can't live with people that submit to everybody are contradict themselves and nobody no really have a solution to the problem?
Them have government assistance too. Like we can go with
government assistance.
Everybody up here qualify for government assistance unless you're illegal.
Me can't get it.
You're illegal. How you can't get it?
Me can't get, and everybody get government assistance, sir.
If you're not illegal, how you can't get it?
Because you have to work and you have to work below poverty to get government assistance. And nobody now circumvent themselves but work below poverty just to go get one extra $50. You know where it is.
Different states do things different ways. So depends on you're there in New York or something like that, right? Yeah. You see how me guess that? You never tell me where you're there. You know why I know that? Because that's the cry of people from New York. So when them cut and go on next state where they get full government assistance and literally have a nice house and living on and pay $20 a month for rent, then you can't tell me nothing. So they have choices here. Jamaica can have them the choices. Eh? Come to Florida, man.
Me not never come to Florida.
Then see that they're not in New York, then I'm bata man. So but you have choices. Florida is right next door to Jamaica. I'm reach home in 1 hour.
Don't tell me I left that road.
Yeah. Hear me, I say. We have to go try something different here. Adapt me, I say. We have to go try something different.
I need to take her back here.
All right, I'll talk to you later here.
Okay.
All right, manners and respect, family.
Yeah, man.
All right. Tandy and freeze. Yeah, Pussy Galore says Tandy and freeze, just as I said it. Tandy and freeze. If you don't want to move around, listen, Jamaica don't have as many choices as the US has. Let me break this down enough time for people. I say it like this. A high schooler here in the US, right, will start working at 16 years old while them in a school. By the time they are 18, 19, they've established a line of credit, which is good. Them have a nice car that is probably halfway paid off to fully paid off. You know what I'm saying? Now, them can say to them friend, hey, we going off to college or we staying here and working. Them say, yo, we are stay local and work. Them say, boom, let's go rent that apartment over there. It's 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. I'll hold one side, you hold the next side. Boom, boom, you pay that off. Them work them way up in them little job. This is without further education, you know. Jamaica don't have these opportunities. But I'm saying some of these opportunities could actually be put in place there as well. Ask the people them which part on the tax money I got. And that me I talk about. Ask them which part of the tax money I got. And stop make excuses for them. Because once you make excuses for them, and y'all heard her reply when I said try something different, because she said JLP, PNP, them all give you the same thing. I said, all right, you know that, right? Try something different. Every government, everybody who going to power them, this, you don't know that yet. You don't know that yet. Try something different. If you try something different and this new party gives you foolishness and bullshit, you cut them off and you go back to your old and you write that new party off forever because they came in on a false pretense that they were going to give you something different and they didn't. Hold them accountable. But guess what? They can't even hold who they have now accountable. So how them are going to hold anybody new accountable? And that's serious talk, serious conversation. So we are run long this morning, and I want to cut that part of the show short, right? To get into our last topic for the morning. There was a big chopper. Yes, Lady J, you see the mindset, right? And that is why they suffer and will continue to suffer. It sounds hard-hearted, but I'm starting to really not feel too hurt about when me hear people are ball. Whoa, it rough out here, and why? Because I know it's their mind state. I know it's their mind state, and I know they invite this and they entertain it and they want it, but they still want to cry. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You want changes? You're going to have to help with these changes. Vote for something different. Be that change. If you can't do that, then we will all just be suffering until different come then. And leave it to the two who are there before if we continue doing exactly what they've been doing all along. Make up your mind to suffer long term from now on, because at that Jamaican people make up their mind for do. If they're not willing to take on a new party that has a totally different agenda from the two parties that are existing now, they have made up their mind to suffer long term. That's it. And we have to accept that if that's what it is and move on. Them cry out of their mouth so them want change, but they don't really want change. Their action says different. Yeah. Just like that's hard to accept. It's friggin' hard to accept, but I eat that. Anyhow, you see all this thieving stuff going on in the country, right? All these corporate choppers, we call them. Because none of them now go to prison, you know. All these corporate choppers. You know, there was a story that broke a few years ago. One of them top chopper here, he actually ran away from Jamaica, and they were having talks of extraditing him back to Jamaica to face charges and try to investigate and find where the people their money went so they can give the people them back their money. He wasn't even extradited back to the US. So let me give you a background before I give you what happened now. America and Jamaica, two different places when it comes to certain things. You try that mess in Jamaica, you might get away with it. You try it in America, you're going to go to prison for a long time. Me not care how much money you have. I've seen millionaires and billionaires go to prison here for a whole lot of time, right? So the police have not ruled out the possibility of seeking an extradition for the head of a failed investment scheme. At the time, they were known as Worldwise Partners, but that is not an indication that investors will get their money back anytime soon. The name of this person was Noel Strachan. Strachan, who headed the scheme, is believed to have relocated from Jamaica to Florida in the United States. Easy move, 1 hour away. And local investigators are looking at using the Mutual Legal Assistance Treaty to get him back home to Jamaica. That is what they said back then. This was in 2011, right? This man was a part of a scheme that was similar to the Cash Plus something, similar to the SSL something, gone with the people their money, nobody got their money back, and all that. Fast forward to today, he looks completely different. This is from 2011 to 2023. If you look at the front page, if you look at the icon for this video, you will see that guy with the gray hair. Look down in the corner, you'll see a smaller picture of a guy with black hair. That's him. Him that now. So see me here now today. Top chopper. Time is the master, you know, my friend. Time is the master. So apparently what's going on with the same things here in the US. Now, this former head of the now defunct Worldwide Partner Ponzi scheme, Noel Strachan, is now in the US, where he has been arrested recently. He was indicted and he is now facing up to 20 years in a US prison after he was indicted by a grand jury of the US District Court, Southern District in Florida, along with 10 of his co-accused for wire fraud and aggravated identity theft. Strachan, who bilked thousands of Jamaicans out of hundreds of millions of dollars and fled from Jamaica to the United States over a decade ago, and nobody in Jamaica worked with authorities in the US to bring his behind back to Jamaica and prosecute him, because them get for them cut of the money already too, so them just let him go. Hundreds of millions of dollars. Fled to the US over a decade ago, was recently arrested by the US Marshal Service last Thursday in Broward County, Florida, for more than 4 months after the indictment alleging that the charges was drafted. The indictment is dated October 28th of 2022. This indictment, which is 23 pages long, alleges that Strachan and his co-accused either stole or fraudulently obtained up to 100 vehicles, including high-end model vehicles like Cadillacs and Mercedes-Benzes and BMWs and the Polaris slingshots, and either sold them or used them as collaterals for loans using false identification with forged signatures. Strachan's co-accused in the fraud are, and they give a bunch of names like Omar Etayem, also known as Omar Rivera, Odane March, Yasiblet Bentley, also known as Lisa Bentley, Junior Muro, Michael Padros, also known as Mario Cruz or Gangsta Mike, Anthony, someone know that one there, Anthony Jones, me getting that one there for one different video, Anthony Jonas, Javier Algueres, also known as Cuba, Marlon Foster, Demal Cheeks, and Daryl Scarf. Count one of this indictment, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, outlined that Strachan and his co-accused from in or around March of 2017 through in and around April of 2019 in Broward County, Miami-Dade, and Palm Beach counties in the Southern District of Florida and elsewhere did willfully, that is, with the intent to further the purpose of the conspiracy, and knowingly combine, conspire, and agree with each other and with other known and unknown persons to the grand jury to knowingly and with the intent to defraud, devise, and intend to devise a scheme and artifice to defraud and to obtain money and property. You know how the thing go already. All this here is just legal jargon just to say them catch them. Okay, so long run, short catch. It claimed that it was the purpose of the conspiracy for the defendants and their co-conspirators to unlawfully enrich themselves and others, among other things, by acquiring these vehicles through various means, including by thieving them and by deception, preparing and submitting false and fraudulent titles for the vehicles, documents, removing the vehicles lawfully unlawfully from their owners and their lien holders from the title and retaining possession of the vehicles for personal use and enjoyment and selling the vehicles for profits. It continued and says that Noel Strachan, the same one that built thousands of Jamaicans out of hundreds of millions of dollars and ran away from Jamaica to Florida and is now in hot water here, Noel Strachan and his co-conspirators acquired vehicles through various means. Some vehicles were stolen. Some vehicles were purchased by straw buyers. Straw buyers, that buyer does not really exist. Some vehicles were purchased by straw buyers. Some vehicles were rented using fraudulent means of identification, where they would go and rent the vehicle from Enterprise or wherever. Then they would take the vehicle and put it in their own warehouse and change the VIN number and change the paperwork and make it their own vehicle and never return that vehicle, change the color, whatever them do. Never return that vehicle to the rental places that the vehicle was rented from. Just use the vehicle for their own. Rent out them same vehicle there and make money off of them, or sell those vehicles like they're a car dealership and this is their fleet of vehicles. In Brave, you think that was going to fly in the US? For how long? They're also accused of altering and causing to be altered the vehicle's identification number, which I said before. They would change out the VIN numbers or the mileage on the vehicles. So they would also roll back the mileage. A 200,000 mile vehicle would end up having 55,000 miles on it. You think you're getting a good deal? It's just like when the girl said, "Me? No, sir. I've been with 1, 2, 3 only, and you're the third one." Yeah, I get one beat out vehicle, and the vehicle was actually on its last leg, and you don't know because it's pretty, right? All that they were doing. Now, Strachan and his co-accused were helped into the fraud by an office manager at the company in Broward County, Florida, Bentley, who is accused of being the person who provided the courier services, taking the documents to Junior Muro, a title clerk at the state of Florida tag agency in Miami-Dade County, Florida. And that person was their inside link who authorized processing of these titles of these vehicles. So them even have somebody on the inside that would make these titles, these false documents real, stamped by and with the state's seal on it. They found that person. That person started talk. These fraudulently obtained vehicle titles removed all prior owners and all lien holders from the title if the vehicles were stolen, created a new title with a fraudulent VIN number for the stolen vehicle, is what the indictment says. In some instances, after they fraudulently obtained the vehicles and the vehicle title, the title was issued. Noel Strachan and his co-conspirators also applied for a loan using the fraudulently obtained vehicle title as collateral. So they were getting money from all angles. This indictment, under the signature of Assistant U.S. Attorney Adam Harper, said that the case should take about 10 days for the parties to be tried. So I'm going to be staying close to this one, and I want to see what happens. He said this case should take about 10 days to be tried. 10 days. The jury is asking the court to allow it to forfeit any property that he has or any of his linkies have. Anything them find in a for them name or that they own or attached to, they're asking to have all that seized because they're asking to liquidate these assets and get these monies back to all the people and the businesses that were built out of these monies. With a promise of a 200% yearly return on investments, many people had joined with the investment group that was in Jamaica. That's how they did them. And they lost more than $200 million when it collapsed, according to law enforcement authorities. Since that time, Strachan has, wait there, before the FSC could serve the order, Strachan and his family migrated to the US. So this is where his Jamaica story came in. Strachan led Worldwide Invest over a decade ago in Jamaica, and it was among several unregulated alternative investment schemes that collapsed in Jamaica in the late 2000s. After being served with a cease and desist order by the Financial Services Commission, which is FSC. The same people them, before anything else could be done, he fled Jamaica with his family, came to the US, been living in Florida, flicking it up, doing his thing. Yeah, and here he is today. The Ponzi scheme at the time included Olint and Cash Plus. So if you remember them there, remember them. And he was the face of all of that. Them people are the same people that will sue you and send you cease and desist and don't call my name again. And you're not sure of what you're saying, and I'm gonna send my attorney and all these things. Just like them do Andre over so. Long run, short catch. Another one. With that said, we're going to leave that here for today. Big up to all of my Jamaicans worldwide. Love, you know. Wouldn't change the culture or us for the world. But we have to go wise up when it comes to this politics thing. We can't keep running with the two same dead horse that man expect to win any race. But that's neither here nor there. I leave that to you. God go, I don't know. Walk good. It's the weekend. Go enjoy yourself. Be with your family. Prioritize properly. Make use of the time that God has given you and live life to the fullest. Yes, I will see y'all out there somewhere. One love, people. I'm out. Peace.